a number on their old coach, and that's what causes a rivalry straight away.
With me, my analyst, Dave Johnson. Dave, the stage is set. Let's talk about the key matchups. Everybody in this building going to be looking for number 21 from Cleveland, Hector Marinero.
Yeah, Hector Marinero is indeed a superstar. He is a goal scorer. He knows all about the Buffalo Blizzard. Used to play for Blizzard head coach Trevor Dawkins in Cleveland. In fact, the guy who may draw the marking assignment tonight against Hector Marinero, a teammate of Hector's in Cleveland, Chris Santo. It's a bit of a friendly rivalry at times. Before the game, Hector was having a kickabout with Trevor's son, Kyle. But when he gets on the carpet, Hector's going to do some damage. In 4 games against Buffalo this year, scored 30 points. But Buffalo cannot over-focus on Hector Marinero. There's a guy named Zoran Karic on Cleveland. He is the 2nd leading scorer in the league and also the line mate of Hector Marinero.
Well, the big star for the Buffalo Blizzard is a man who used to play in Cleveland. His name, Rudy Pikuzinski.
Rudy Pikuzinski is a very emotional, very intense player. He's a guy that likes to stir things up, and sometimes when he stirs things up, it ends up in the back of the net, and other times, well, other things happen. He gets a few misconducts.
Well, Rudy is an emotional guy. He also leads the league in misconduct penalties. We'll see if he can keep his emotions in check. Now, the men who are responsible for keeping the ball out of the nets tonight, both are wily veterans in indoor soccer. For Buffalo, the Wizard of the Blizzard.
Wizard of the Blizzard, indeed, Jamie Swanner. Very solid between the woodwork. He's got all the skills, has a great arm, can work with his feet, can make the big saves. And again, sometimes in the playoffs, a hot goalkeeper can win it for you.
And in the Cleveland net, a man many believe should have been an all-star, Otto Orff.
Well, Otto Orff has got a terrific arm, and it's a big part of Cleveland's offense. When you have Hector Marinero and Zoran Karic up front, you want to get him the ball quick. You want him numbers up in 2-on-1 situations so Orff can make the big save, and then Otto Orff can start the offense.
In the 5-game regular season series, Buffalo won the first 2. Cleveland came back to win 3 straight. They won the series 3-2. Now it's best of 3 with a shot at the title on the line. We'll be back with the starting lineup and the kickoff, the NPSL playoffs on Sports Channel America. Don't go away.
Are you ready for a change? Wouldn't you like to slide into a new body? Hi, I'm Kim Alexis. With my career, I have to stay in shape, so I'm always looking for a better way to work out. Now I've found the Slim Slide. It's fun, and I get great results in less time. Sliding started as a training method for Olympic athletes. Now it's the newest craze in aerobics on the West Coast. Why? Because you burn fat fast, up to 400 calories in just 20 minutes. And it focuses shaping where we need it most, our lower body.
The Slim Slide is a world-class workout, yet it's appropriate for people of all fitness levels. By swinging your arms, your whole body is involved, so there's no better cardiovascular exercise.
The Slim Slide reshapes your lower body. It firms your inner and outer thighs and tightens your buttocks and even slims your hips.
Now I can get everything I need in just 20 minutes.
Whoever thought that working out could be such a blast? It's not boring, so I know I'll stay with it and lose weight.
The Slim Slide is made of space-age resin and includes shoe covers so you can slide your way into a new body. It also comes with my easy-to-follow workout video. Because being a mother of 2, I know how important it is to work out at home. And Slim Slide stores so easily. Finally, an aerobic workout that's fun and helps you lose weight. So, if you'd like to slide into a new body, call toll-free now and order my workout video and the Slim Slide from Fitness Quest.
To order the Slim Slide with Kim Alexis, including her workout video, call 1-800-325-1212. That's 1-800-325-1212. We'll bill your credit card 3 easy payments of $19.95 each. And we won't bill the last payment till you've tried it for 60 days. You get a full 60-day home trial. The total price, $59.85 plus $9 shipping and handling. To order, call 1-800-325-1212. Call now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the auditorium in Buffalo, where we are awaiting kickoff of the NPSL playoff series, the American Division semifinal between the Cleveland Crunch and the Buffalo Blizzard. Here's a look at the Cleveland Crunch starting lineup. The goalkeeper, Otto Orff. Defensive, George Fernandez, who's been troubled by a sore knee and may not be able to play the whole game tonight. His partner, Tim Tima. Midfielder is Tom Tenner, and of course the forwards, the number 1 and 2 scorers in the NPSL, Hector Marinero and Zoran Karic.
Well, Lee, it'll be interesting to see how long George Fernandez goes tonight because he may be the guy assigned to mark Rudy Pikuzinski of the Buffalo Blizzard. If Fernandez cannot go very long, Bernie James could see some carpet time.
Bernie James, a late entry for the Cleveland Crunch. In fact, he flew in on the same flight we were on from New York this afternoon. And the Blizzard are being introduced to a record crowd here at the Aud. And here's their starting lineup. The goalkeeper, Jamie Swanner, best known to local fans as the Wizard of the Blizzard. The defensive pair, Chris Santo and Ralph Black, and they've got their work cut out tonight. The midfielder, Randy Pikuzinski. The forwards, Paul Daugherty and Rudy Pikuzinski. Rudy Pikuzinski, the fourth leading scorer in the NPSL this season. But Rudy, who is awaiting to be introduced to this crowd, is the all-time leading playoff scorer in the NPSL. Here is the playoff system in the National Professional Soccer League. The division semifinals are best 2 of 3. The division finals are best 2 of 3, and then the final series is 3 of 5. And I'll tell you, Dave, in a 2 out of 3, anything can happen, and the first game is absolutely critical. Let's take a look at the American Division standings. Baltimore won the regular season title. Cleveland 2 games back, Buffalo 4 games back. So this is the second and third place teams. Baltimore will face Harrisburg in its playoff series that opens Wednesday. National Division, Wichita won the regular season title, just a game ahead of Kansas City. Chicago third and St. Louis, but already in the playoffs, St. Louis knocked off Wichita to open their series. They're on the field tonight. We'll keep you posted on that game. And there's Trevor Dawkins, the head coach of the Buffalo Blizzard, who used to coach indoor soccer in Cleveland, and that has really set the stage for a great rivalry, Dave.
Well, that's what this rivalry is all about. A coach who used to be in Cleveland, players who used to be in Cleveland that are now in Buffalo, and vice versa. That really adds to the intensity. And you talk about perhaps a record crowd. Well, it could be a record playoff crowd here tonight. We'll have to wait and see what happens. The previous playoff crowd record in the NPSL, around 9,000. They're expecting a big walk-up tonight here in Buffalo, and part of that is the fact that Cleveland is in town because a lot of fans come from Cleveland.
Well, we pause from the fireworks for the national anthem. George. Well, all the pregame excitement is over. Let's get ready for some soccer tonight. Our officials, Steve Siomos, Joe Manfrick, and John Kivensid. In the goal for the Buffalo Blizzard, Jamie Swanner, who has Trevor Dawkins coming out to give him some words of encouragement. And at the other end of the arena, the man who will be stepping into that net, Otto Orff for the Cleveland Crunch. Both of them wearing some different shades of purple tonight.
And I tell you, look at Otto Orff bouncing the ball around, perhaps a little nervous anticipation as he works it around like a basketball player. You saw Jamie Swanner going up and down, still moving around, trying to get set. I tell you what, you talk about the intensity tonight. It's a very important game for Buffalo because after this, there are two
George,
games in Cleveland.
have you got the mics
so
to the
Buffalo needs
account
to get a
open?
victory here, because if they don't get it tonight, Cleveland is in a great position. To wrap up the series. So the best of three, you talk about the importance of that. Well, the momentum has to start tonight on the carpet with the kickoff. You cannot wait to get into the sync of the playoffs, because before you know it, the playoff series will be over.
Trevor Dawkins is wearing a mic tonight. Let's hear his final instructions to the Blizzard. Well, apparently Trevor has switched off the microphone. We'll get that corrected.
Well,
and we'll be listening. That's part of the intensity. We'll be listening to Trevor Dawkins throughout the evening as we await kickoff of this first of three in this American Division semifinal series. Now, the last time these clubs met, Cleveland won 19-12. Cleveland won the regular season series 3-2. What's interesting here is that Buffalo won the first two games, then Cleveland swept 3 straight. But we are ready to kick off action here at the auditorium in Buffalo. We're underway. Marinaro sending it deep. Hector Marinaro and Zarn Karic. There's a shot. Otto Orff getting tested early. Black now working as his offense sets up. And the Blizzard doing something a little different here. They're keeping their defenders very deep.
Well, the Blizzard have players like Ralph Black that can push it forward so they can go both ways for Buffalo, whereas Cleveland really needs to take care of the defense and let Hector and Zoran take care of the offense.
Well, Daugherty, who's one of the catalysts of this offense, ahead for Pikuzinski. Black with the shot wide. There's Daugherty with the follow, kicked away.
Already you see Buffalo jumping right into the offense. Jamie Swanner getting into the act. Paul Daugherty working through midfield, but a good observation, Lee, the fact that Ralph Black is up there taking a couple of shots. They want to get to Cleveland early.
Well, Sean Medved working with Marinaro. The ball knocked away by the defense. Swanner examining his options, and Buffalo pushes forward.
Again, you notice Buffalo likes to work it from the back. They'll do a lot of creativity through midfield. They have the players like a Paul Daugherty to work it through midfield. Even some of the younger players like a John Gardner and Chris Kelderman that can help Buffalo get the offense started. Whereas Cleveland, a lot of fast breaks we'll see tonight, but so far the Crunch have not had the opportunity.
Well, Buffalo will take over with a free kick, and the Crunch will set up their defense.
Just saw George Fernandez there, so that's a good sign for Cleveland. Still in the game, getting a strained right medial collateral ligament is the problem with George Fernandez, one of the top defenders in the NPSL.
That's Nassim Alabi, who took the ball away, and there's a shot wide, actually more of a feed, but Alabi couldn't catch up to it. Dean Kelly working along the boards. The Crunch keeping the pressure on.
Well, the Crunch love to counterattack, and that starts with pressure. So they'll try to force the turnovers at midfield and get off to the races.
Well, David Hagen, an assistant coach, and Mitty lost the ball there. Here comes Glenn Carbonara feeding ahead for Mark Thomas. But the Blizzard defense is there. Swanson. Black, cross-field pass. Hagen working, there's Daugherty. Over to Chris Santo. Daugherty had an opportunity but couldn't get a foot on the ball. Is loose. There's a scramble. Pikuzinski really doing what he does best, just keeping the ball alive. A foul on Pikuzinski, and the Crunch will take over.
Well, just what we talked about the pregame, we just saw there with Rudy Pikuzinski. He keeps things going. They almost had a second opportunity on that shot by Paul Daugherty. And Rudy Pikuzinski getting the foul, but he'll do whatever he can to keep the ball in the other team's defensive third. And that's what Rudy Pikuzinski is all about. An emotionally intense player. He's the kind of guy that is competitive no matter where he is.
Well, there's another foul. and a free kick for the Crunch. That play set up by the arm of Otto Orff.
And you don't, this is what Buffalo does not want. They do not want set plays because we've got Hector and Zorn. You've got scoring options.
Well, the ball kicked out of bounds. Let's take a look at the rules and scoring system. Game rules, of course, is a high-scoring affair. We've got 3-point goals, 2-point goals, and 1-point penalty shots and power plays. And, of course, as in ice hockey in the NHL, 6th attacker is something that we'll see late in the game. A club is never out of this game. Good effort, saved by Swanner, and the Crunch are putting the pressure on.
Again, you see Cleveland with 2 set pieces and 2 excellent shots, and that's not what Buffalo wants. They do not want to give Cleveland any kind of free kick or a kick from the top of the arc because it'll spell trouble for the Buffalo Blizzard, because you can only deny Zoran Karic, Hector Marinero, and company so many times. Again, Hector and Zoran combined for 470 points this season. But Buffalo, right in the thick of the offense, and really has been pressuring all night. Now Otto Orff having to come up with a big save. The Crunch, of course, right now getting an opportunity with a counterattack, but still no score 5 minutes into this contest. And I think it's an example of just the playoff intensity that we're seeing here tonight. No one wants to make a mistake. It's a best-of-3 series.
Well, Pikuzinski trying to work it into the zone. He's working against 3 defenders. He still gets the shot off just wide. He is always dangerous. So the Crunch bringing up Fernandez with the pass over to Tim Dyma. Played ahead for Olabi, who tried to put some pressure on Swanner. Here come the Blizzard. Lead pass for Kelly. But the Crunch battling along the boards. We've got a foul.
All right, you're going to look at Rudy Pikuzinski. I mean, look how he goes through traffic here. This is a tough shot to get off. I mean, you're off balance, but he's managed to get his balance, just get the shot past the defender. And if he had a few more inches to work with, he could have put it in the net.
Well, Orff way out of the net trying to get things started. Uses the boards to try and clear out the ball, but the Blizzard keeping the pressure on. Long ball ahead for Olabi. He's got Mark Thomas there waiting. There's the shot. Swanner, open goal at the pin. Tommy Tanner was there to take the feed from Olabi, and bingo, the Cruncher on the board.
Cleveland was waiting for a situation like this. Look at Tommy Tanner, the hustle. He's got to get by John Gardner. He just is able to knife it into the net, and Tanner putting his body on the line because that's plywood he's going up against. Olabi with a nice crisp shot, and Tanner, that's what you got to do. Go to the post, and he just out hustles the defender, and in the playoffs, hustle is a big factor. Give Tommy Tanner the hustle award, and that's frustration for Jamie Swanner, the Buffalo goalkeeper.
The strategy so simple: strong side, weak side. The weak side is the side that does not have the ball. They emptied it and then pushed the ball there and got there. Well, we've got a 2-0 score. Cleveland, the visitors are leading. We'll be back with more action from the odd after this.
Official soccer ball of the National Professional Soccer League. Guaranteed for long-lasting high performance. Hand-stitched for superior quality. Uniquely designed. Candace, the soccer ball of the pros. Available at soccer specialty stores everywhere. When soccer is the game, Candace is the name. Candace, the official soccer ball of the National Professional Soccer League. Candace for your team or league. A soccer ball that's one kick ahead of all the others.
Crunch fans, playoff action comes to Cleveland this coming Sunday at 3:05 p.m. at the Cleveland State Convocation Center. Catch all the excitement as the Crunch takes on the arch-rival Buffalo Blizzard. Tickets are available for Sunday's game and for Wednesday's wrap-up contest, so order your tickets now.
It's Crunch time! Crunch time! Stand up and shout! It's Crunch time in Cleveland now! Crunch!
If you're balding or have thinning hair, wouldn't you rather look like this? Introducing Instant Hair Plus, the amazing hair thickener that gets rid of bald spots and thickens your hair in an instant.
What I like about Instant Hair Plus is it looks totally natural. Even up close, nobody can tell that I'm using it.
Instant Hair Plus is easy to use and is not a paint-on or cover-up. It clings to your hair and actually builds it up, thicker and thicker right before your eyes. Now, can you tell where the bald spot was?
I could not believe how full it actually made your hair look.
Instant Hair Plus comes in 5 natural colors, one just right for you, and it's only $19.95. Try it for 30 days risk-free. And if you don't agree that Instant Hair Plus is the next best thing to growing hair, just return it for a prompt refund.
To order, call 1-800-238-3100 or send $19.95 plus shipping and handling to P.O. Box 4670, Omaha, Nebraska. Be sure to indicate your hair color or call now 1-800-238-3100.
Well, the fans in the odd are twirling purple towels for their Blizzard, and the home team trails 2-0 with 9:40 to play in this first period of the American Division semifinal between the Crunch and the Buffalo Blizzard. Otto Orff, the length of the field pass. Swanner with the header away. Olabi, who was the man who set up the first Cleveland goal, is still working that corner, looking for feeds. The Crunch trying to get things set up. There's a little push, and the ball goes over to the Blizzard.
Well, so far, Cleveland taking advantage of opportunity. Tommy Tanner with that goal, but Buffalo has had the bulk of the pressure. But again, Cleveland, a lot of talk about their offense, but this is a team that is capable of playing disciplined defense, and that's what you have to do in the playoffs, is play disciplined defense and concentrate for an entire 60 minutes. Tommy Tanner was allowed to get to the post and score the first goal. Everyone's going to have to watch their man, mark their man, and not allow teams to have space, and especially when you have counterattack situations.
Well, let's talk about the scoring system in the NPSL again. 1-point goals for shootouts and also power plays and penalty situations. We'll get to that. A regular goal is 2 points, and if you score from outside the yellow line, 50 feet from the goal mouth, it's worth 3. With a 3-point goal, no team is ever out of a game. And the fourth quarter of these contests turns always into a rather remarkable flurry.
St. Louis Ambush proved that last night with their thrilling win over the Wichita Wings. It was a 3-pointer to tie it up 15-15, and then they win 17-15 in overtime.
Well, Doherty working off the boards. Shot high as Orff bats it away. There's Pikuzinski working with his brother, trying to get something started. Randy and Rudy out in the same block. Ball headed, it was free. Doherty there trying to serve as a pest for Otto Orff. A little push, and Cleveland will take over with a free kick deep in its own territory.
Paul Doherty dumping Tim Tima. It's usually the other way around. Tim Tima, a very aggressive defender. You talk about veterans. Tima's been around. He's played 317 NPSL games, but this time Doherty, despite the size advantage, was able to dump Tim Tima.
Otto Orff trying to work the ball out. Pikuzinski, Rudy, who has really been everywhere when he's been on the floor tonight, obviously motivated about this contest, kicked it out, and the Cleveland Crunch get another try.
Rudy comes out of nowhere. If you come to a game live, he could end up in the seat next to you. That's the type of player he is. He'll go wherever he has to go to make things happen. He can score goals, and you may not even realize he's on the carpet. He's a bit sneaky at times, but he just stirs things up, and he'll come up with the big plays.
Black with the cross-court pass. Knocked away by a defender for Cleveland. Now Doherty worked it to Pikuzinski, back to Doherty as the Blizzard try to set something up. The Blizzard seem very aware of the fast break possibilities, and they're keeping somebody almost at midfield rather than getting involved in the offense. Well, a foul on the Blizzard, and the Crunch will take over. Tanner throws it long, but it's headed away by Dean Kelly. Long ball out of bounds. A little too much off the foot of Mr. Black. Well, with the score 2-0, 7 minutes, 29 seconds to play in the first quarter. We'll be back at the playoffs of the NPSL on Sports
in the
Channel.
National Professional Soccer League, but they only wear one brand of gear, Patrick. The NPSL is a league of fast-paced, exciting soccer, and the stars of the NPSL demand only the best. whether it's Patrick jersey, shorts, bags, warm-ups, shin guards, sandals, or shoes. So play like the pros of the NPSL and soccer players around the world. Insist on Patrick at your local sporting goods or soccer store. Patrick, the official supplier of the NPSL.
Welcome back to the NPSL playoffs. Trevor Dawkins, coach of the Buffalo Blizzard, is mic'd. Let's hear what he has to say. Well, we're still experiencing some technical difficulties with Trevor Dawkins.
I tell you what, I don't know if it's technical. He may have turned it off. I mean, this is playoff intensity here, and Trevor may not let the secrets out of the bag. And at this point, Trevor may not be the guy to listen to because he's probably a little bit irate at this point with the Crunch leading 2-0. Gary Henley right now, certainly he's got to be pointing out some things because Buffalo right now is playing good ball possession. They're getting the shots off. And Gary's goalkeeper, Otto Orff, has been kept busy. There's been a couple of times when Orff has really been tested, but Orff has been able to keep a clean sheet, and right now the Blizzard yet to get on the board. But when you have a 2-0 game like this, nobody has the momentum despite that goal. And right now, it's not been an overly physical game. Both teams are allowing each other to play. They're trying to just get into the flow of the game, and things are going to start to pick up because this is playoff time. These teams have gone through 40-game regular seasons, and now you have a 3-game series to make it all worthwhile.
Well, it's been end-to-end action. That's what we expected, and we also expect a high-scoring contest. Otto Orff picking up the ball. He can throw it from one end to the other, and he'll do just that. As the Buffalo defense picks it up, to midfield it goes, and they'll battle for the ball. Swanson now trying to set things up. Buffalo with its second line in. David Hagen, the assistant coach and midfielder, sort of the playmaker on this line.
It's good to see Hagen out there. Missed part of the season with a fractured kneecap. Skilled player. He's part of this rivalry. He used to play in Cleveland. And if there's one player on that field right now that wants to beat Cleveland, it is David Hagen.
There are several players for the Buffalo Blizzard who have a history of indoor soccer in Cleveland, and Buffalo coach Trevor Dawkins once coached in Cleveland. As the old adage goes, familiarity breeds contempt. They say this is a friendly rivalry, but it's very difficult to believe that when you watch the action.
Well, it's friendly when these guys get on the golf course in the summer. They get over pizza and some sodas, but at this time of year, you know, it's all about winning the game, and you want bragging rights, and you don't want to lose to friends. It's ironic, though, of anybody you don't want to lose to. It's people you do know, and that's what ends up being the catalyst for this rivalry between Buffalo and Cleveland.
It is interesting that both of these clubs are NPSL expansion franchises, and yet there is a great deal of history between these players from previous indoor leagues, and they've brought that intensity, and it's really helped out the NPSL.
And again, the proximity of the city is also a factor because fans get to travel back and forth. It's the same with the other series in the American Division, Baltimore and Harrisburg. That's the Battle of I-83. It's become an intense series. Well, the fans get involved. It's a league for the fans, and that plays a very big role. You talk about the seventh man or whatever in indoor soccer, but believe me, it's a part of the series we're seeing in the American Division.
Well, some jostling here at midfield as both clubs change lines. Now on to the attack. Randy Pikuzinski pushes it into the corner. There's a shot. Rooney, standing by, had Doherty near the goal mouth, but couldn't get the ball to him. Marinero pushes it in. He's got Carrick there, but Swanner was also there.
I think Ralph Black was back for the Buffalo Blizzard. Otherwise, Carrick would have had a field day. See Chris Santo down with the ball. The Blizzard defender is very much part of the offense, so jump up and get involved.
Now Orff playing it off the boards. The long lead pass is picked off. The Blizzard try to control.
Good look at the matchups. That was Black on Carrick, and the other matchup, Santo on Marinero out on the carpet.
Well, here comes Randy Pikuzinski. His brother Rudy is in the goal area waiting for an opportunity. He got it, but Fernandez was there to make the stop. Now Doherty looking for a chance. Oh, Doherty off the crossbar. Pikuzinski battling for another shot at that ball. His brother is also there. And it's tag team Pikuzinski and a foul.
Rudy jumping into it, getting physical, creating the foul, but an amazing save by Otto Orff to sweep it off the line. Look what happens there. He has to turn around and sweep that away because look who's right there, Rudy Pikuzinski. If there's a ball within 10 feet of the goal, he's ready to pounce on it. That's why Pikuzinski scores goals. Very opportunistic player. That was a tremendous reaction save by Orff. He had the presence of mind to know the ball was still loose, knew exactly where it was, and had to totally turn his body around to sweep it away. The other matchup to watch, George Fernandez on Pikuzinski. The two have really been jostling in the box. You see Fernandez getting off Pikuzinski now as it goes back to Otto Orff. But, you know, Fernandez, it looks like he's okay as he's played a good portion of this first quarter.
Well, you'll notice he is wearing a brace on the right knee. That knee has bothered him. And we'll see as the night wears on how that leg holds up. Excellent attack by Buffalo, but the Cleveland defense is up to it. And Marinero takes it away.
The other thing about Hector Marinero, he'll get back, help out on defense if he has to. He's the type of very spirited player, gets involved in the action wherever he can. And when he's on defense, he's always thinking about how he can turn it into offense.
Well, a line change, and here come the Blizzards.
In fact, you might say, well, how can the leading scorer in the league be good on defense? Well, actually, Hector Marinero started his career as a defender.
Nassim Alabi will face off with Jamie Swanner. Swanner sends it deep. Just off the leg of Dean Kelly, but Orff was there, and to the other end it goes.
Kelly would like that over again. I know that was a gift from the heavens, and he wasn't able to trap it down.
And the Buffalo defense looking good. Mark Thomas with a chance, but Swanner falls on top of it, and a push is called on Cleveland, and Buffalo takes over.
Again, you're seeing the contrasting styles. What is Buffalo doing? They're working it from the back. You're seeing Hagen go through midfield, whereas Cleveland likes the fast break.
Dean Kelly had the attempt, but Orff was there to make the save. Now Santos is stopped, and Cleveland turns it around. That was Doug Swanson who took the shot. Santos is off the floor. Olabi.
Well, Medved had some room to work there, but fortunately Buffalo was able to shut it down. When you get in the corner like that, it's important to close them down because that's an excellent place to have a crossing pass. And strangely, the Buffalo allowed Cleveland to get the pass off, but they were able to thwart the attempt.
Well, we've had a quickly played first period with 1 minute and 40 seconds to play. Cleveland leading 2-0 in this division semifinal opener between the Crunch and the Blizzard. Oh, Pikuzinski, that's Randy Pikuzinski, who was alone along the boards in the crossing pass and working now to get control. But if he hadn't slipped, there was an opportunity.
I was just going to say that was a half volley in waiting, and it looks like Randy Pikuzinski must have slipped on the carpet somehow because, I mean, that ball was ready to be struck. Either that or he was already thinking about the goal because that was in a sweet position.
So the Blizzard, the free kick off the far boards. And when they get the opportunity, these clubs do turn to set plays.
And Buffalo may use it off the boards as opposed to Cleveland, which is more direct. You see Randy Pikuzinski lining it up. This may not be a good position to use the boards. They'll probably put it back out front.
Well, Black, the deflection, went back to Pikuzinski. Black with another shot. Orff was there. And Randy Pikuzinski, Rudy rather, with the chance to put it high. Now a foot race. Marinero battling with Santo there.
Well, you see those matchups, Marinero, Santo, Chris Black, Terrence. By the end of the night, these guys are going to be tired of each other, and that's when things sometimes can get a little bit physical.
Both the Pikuzinskis there in Orff's face, and maybe a little shoulder thrown there. Look, Pikuzinski, the foot race back, makes the steal, and a push on Pikuzinski, and Cleveland gets the free kick.
We look at Otto Orff. He's been kept busy tonight, and it's a wonder the sheet has been clean. Look at that half volley by Ralph Black. And Orff has got a dive, and it's loose and it's trouble, but Rudy Pikuzinski was not able to follow it up.
Oh, another foul on Pikuzinski.
Speaking of Rudy.
And another free kick for the Cleveland Crunch.
He'll be up in the booth with us before the night's over. He is going to be all over the place. I'm telling you, as we said at the outset, he'll stir up this game.
Well, he is playing with intensity, but another reminder that he leads the league in misconduct. So he is an emotional player. He's had 7 game misconducts. He is a guy who talks to the officials. And while he has friends on this Cleveland team, tonight, there are no friends.
You know, I was talking with one of our cameramen before the game. He said he grew up here in Buffalo with the Pikuzinski. He says Rudy was that way in touch football. And he wasn't getting paid for that. Here he is in pro sports. You can only imagine what he's like. But he produces results, and he also helps lead the team. He gets people emotionally involved in the game, and he's at both ends of the carpet. And that's what you need from certain players.
Well, Swanner is examining his options as we count down the last 30 seconds of this opening period. Kelderman looking, sends it long. There's Rudy Pikuzinski working against Menendez. Good shot in. Oh, what a beautiful play. Pikuzinski using the boards to Doherty, and that's the difference in the strategies between these two clubs. Buffalo using the boards as an extra attacker.
Oh, you see it starts from the back. That's where the Buffalo offense will work. The chip goes to Pikuzinski. He's in the corner. He knows Daugherty's in the box, but I don't know how Daugherty gets his shot off. Medved, that's how he gets it off. Medved let Daugherty loose for just a moment, and Daugherty was able, in that split second, and it's frustration for Sean Medved, a talented player for Cleveland, but that's too much room for Daugherty to have in the box.
Otto Orff was absolutely helpless, and with 21 seconds left in the first period, the Blizzard have blown some cold air past the Cleveland bench. It's tied now at 2-2.
And Rudy Pikuzinski, there he is. I mean, this is what he's all about. An emotional leader for this Buffalo Blizzard team. He scores goals, but also some great feeds. He's got great vision. He's a great finisher as well.
Well, he added 2 more points to his total as the NPSL's all-time leading playoff goal scorer. And now we'll count off the final 5 seconds. And I think this gives you an idea of what we can expect with 3 more quarters of unlimited excitement.
It's going to be a long night in Buffalo.
We'll be back with the second quarter. It's the Blizzard and the Crunch tied at 2. Don't go away.
Can't get enough of America's first World Cup? You will in Soccer America. How about our national team and the Olympics? Soccer America delivers.
I've been reading Soccer America ever since I went head-to-head against Pelé back in the 70s. I like Soccer America because it profiles personalities. It reports on the pro, college, women's, and international scenes, and focuses on the very pulse of soccer in America.
Call toll-free to learn more about Soccer America, the USA's only national soccer weekly. 18 issues, just $19.94. Call 1-800-453-6500 now.
There are 13 teams in the National Professional Soccer League, but they only wear one brand of gear, Patrick. The NPSL is a league of fast-paced, exciting soccer, and the stars of the NPSL demand only the best. Whether it's Patrick jerseys, shorts, bags, warm-ups, shin guards, sandals, or shoes. So play like the pros of the NPSL and soccer players around the world. Insist on Patrick at your local sporting goods or soccer store. Patrick, the official supplier of the NPSL.
First edition, all new Pacific's 1993 Premier Edition National Professional League Trading Cards. A complete set, 110 super high gloss cards featuring players from all 13 teams. Order this Premier Edition collector set today. Only $12.95 including shipping and handling for all the action, all the stats, and all your favorite soccer stars. Order your official NPSL 110 card set now by calling toll-free 1-800-551-2002. Only $12.95. Visa and MasterCard accepted. Allow 4 to 6 weeks delivery. These cards are a kick.
Take them out to the ball game. Take them out to the park. Give one to Peter or Uncle Jack. Here is a gift they won't ever send back. Well, they're great for room decorations. If you buy one, you cannot lose. Purchase 1, 2, 3, 4, or more for your favorite ball team.
Championship Banner Products offers many items to choose from, including your favorite football, basketball, hockey, and baseball teams, college and pro. For only $15.95, you can own a satin banner for any team in the NBA or NHL. Get an entire set of mini pennants for only $9.95 per league. Also available for a limited time, a complete set of championship pennants. Set number 1 is only $14.95. To order, call 1-800-828-5607 or send your request along with the appropriate amount plus $5 shipping and handling to Championship Banners, P.O. Box 11060, Greenwich, Connecticut 06831.
The Powerboat Television Show on Sports Channel America. 30 minutes of fast-paced boating excitement, profiles, and travel destinations exclusively for power boaters. Join us every Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Power Boat Television Show.
Welcome back to the Odd in Buffalo. It's the NPSL playoffs, live and exclusive on Sports Channel America, young and old. Here at the Odd tonight, enjoying the action. I'm Lee Zeidman along with Dave Johnson. We've got a tie game after one period of play. And there at center field, Marinero and Pikuzinski sort of talking over old times perhaps as we get ready to kick off the second quarter.
Yeah, talking over old times on the Cuyahoga River, but once the whistle blows, that'll be the farthest from their mind, because again, Hector Marinero, you know, he's looking to have big success in the playoffs. Much has been made of the All-Star game, the 100 goals in the regular season. But let me tell you something, Hector's looking to bring home a championship with this Cleveland Crunch franchise.
Well, the Crunch is their first year of competition of the NPSL. Same goes for the Blizzard. So both of these clubs trying to make their marks in the National Professional Soccer League.
And may I add, just two great organizations. It's been a real success story here in Buffalo their first year, and in Cleveland they hosted the All-Star game, did a terrific job, and it's a credit that both teams are in the playoffs.
Fernandez working. And Hector Marinero, just a pretty play on Chris Santo. Took him one way, turned it around, and bingo, it's 4-2.
There they are, the dynamic duo. There's Jamie Swanner, who had to face the dynamic duo. And sooner or later, it was going to break. But look at this. Karich to Marinero. These two know how to work with each other. Marinero turns on his old teammate, Chris Santo, and bangs it home. And it's a 4-2 game now for the Cleveland Crunch. And Hector is now untapped. Again, Hector and Zorin combined, you ready for this stat, 470 points in the regular season. Over a 40-game schedule, it works out to a rather imposing average.
Well, not only that, in just games against the Blizzard, they combined for 91 or 92 goals. So these guys know how to put the ball in the net, and that was simply an example of one-on-one play. Marinero just faked Santo out, and that was the end of it.
And Santo knows Marinero very well. Again, they were teammates. That means they used to work against each other in practice.
Pikuzinski a little bit in the way of Otto Orff, but Orff still with the long pass downfield. Here comes Randy Pikuzinski, his brother in the left corner. If he can make the feed, that's probably what he's looking for. Doherty awaiting the ball at the yellow line. Remember, a shot from outside the yellow line is worth 3 points if it finds the net. Inside the attack area, it's just a standard 2 points. And there's Santo working the ball up for Doherty. This is the top line, or was, as the Blizzard make a line change. Santos sends it long. Pikuzinski still in the far corner with Fernandez marking him. Doherty now will take the ball. He's got a little push, and we'll have a free kick for the Blizzard.
Again, sometimes the Blizzard get free kicks opportunities. They'll use the boards more than Cleveland will because they use the boards as a weapon, whereas Cleveland very confident in their shooters like Karich and Marinero.
Well, Gardner setting up the play as the Blizzard prepare the offense. Off the board it goes, as you predicted, Dave. But the Crunch battling it. Out of bounds it'll go, and it goes over to the Crunch.
All right, you look at Rudy Pikuzinski. Goes up. Look at that concentration by Otto Orff. I mean, Pikuzinski wants that ball. All it has to do is skim over his head, and it's in the net. And Otto Orff has got to follow that all the way in, while a guy about 6 foot 2 inches jumps right in front of him. Easier said than done, believe me.
Pikuzinski lives in the crease. He wants to be in the goal mouth. It's a wonder he just doesn't become a goalie.
Believe me, Otto Orff will be able to figure out Pikuzinski's shoe size by the end of the night, because that's the type of player he is, and that's how you score goals.
No truth to the rumor that Pikuzinski puts messages on the bottoms of his shoes. And Cleveland on the attack. Olabi with the shot. Swanner there for the save, and turns and fires. No.
Handball
a
coming
foul.
up. Handball coming up on Mark Thomas. You'll see it here. Alabi gets a great shot off, but Thomas, Alabi, good effort there, and Thomas right there, and it goes right off his hand, and a handball against Cleveland Crunch. Cannot use your hands if you're a field player.
Well, Thomas had one with his name all over it. And a foul on the Crunch. The ball goes back to the Blizzard. Let's take a look at the scoring so far. First quarter, Tanner opened it for the Crunch at 5:17. Then with 36 seconds left, Marinero, 36 seconds into the second quarter, the only scoring for the Blizzard, Darty, at the 14:39 mark of the first quarter. So 4-2 the score with 12 minutes, 5 seconds to play in this first half of the NPSL American Division semifinal between the Crunch and the Blizzard.
Big mistake here, and Cleveland trying to take advantage. What Dog Karich could do is scare a few fans, but Zoran Karich, he gets a loose ball at midfield. Believe me, he's licking his chops at that point, because then he's got that trigger. If he's got room to work with, he's got a blistering shot. And you look at Trevor Dawkins' reaction to that. He knows that was a mistake.
Come on, Dino, get the old head up.
Our technical difficulties have been resolved, and we'll be listening to Trevor Dawkins throughout the remainder of this game.
Trevor was telling Dean Kelly as he came to the bench, get the head up, because it was Kelly who made the bad pass that Karich was able to intercept at midfield. So Dawkins trying to keep his troops up. They're down by 2 points. No time to get down at all.
Black to Pikazinski. That's Randy. Into Darty. But Otto Orff there for an easy save. And a long pass, the lead pass to Zoran Karich. And that is a part of the offense. Now Karich trying to turn to Marinero, but the Blizzard wisely taking it away. Pikazinski and Pikazinski with Darty on the wing. Darty. Goal! Beautiful play! Spectacular effort by the Buffalo Blizzard. That's their top line, and it doesn't work any better than that.
I tell you what, Otto Orff knows what happens there, because Doherty gets credit for the goal, but watch you young fans out there, what Pikazinski does to set this up. He's got a couple of options, stays with it a few steps longer. That allows Doherty to get open on the wing, and he is able to fire it home with a left-footed shot. But Pikazinski held the ball as long as he could. What does that do? It attracts defenders to him. It keeps Doherty open. Look how long he stays with the ball. He could have passed it there. No, he stays with it, gets closer and closer, then passes, then the left-footed shot, and it's in the net.
Well, Doherty to Pikazinski. Pikazinski to Doherty. That's the way it's been for Buffalo tonight. 4-4 our score as Cleveland on the attack tries to get those 2 points back. A tie game with 10:47 to play, and we've got a penalty situation.
Well, this could really be a big, quick momentum shift in favor of Cleveland, because it looks like Randy Pikazinski is going to be heading to the penalty box, and a shootout coming up for the Cleveland Crunch. And this may be Steve Sioma's way of saying, look, if you're going to get tough on the tackles tonight, if you're going to get rough, I'm going to call it.
Let's see what happens.
All right, this is Randy Pikazinski. Simple as that. If you do that, as he did with Tommy Tanner, that's a dangerous type of situation. And Steve Sioma says, look, guys, when it gets real physical, I'm going to call it. And this could be, trouble now for Buffalo just after scoring a goal, because it's a shootout.
Well, here's Marinero, the league's leading scorer, against one of the top goaltenders. And there's the goal. So Marinero with the point, and Pikazinski's infraction costs quickly. So now the score 5-4, but the penalty is not over. Pikazinski will be in the box for 2 minutes, and the Crunch will go on the power play. It'll be 5 against 4. For 2 minutes, and if Cleveland can score, it'll be worth 1 point. Now, the interesting part of this, when we take a second look at Marinero, just target practice, frankly.
Swanner wincing. I don't blame him with that shot. What Swanner's trying to do there is come up, cut down the angle, force Marinero to make the shot. He forces it, but Marinero's not going to miss very many. And now you've got a situation, if you're Buffalo, you really have to play smart defense. They brought Mike Britton out onto the carpet. They're going to bring their best defenders, including Rudy Pikazinski. I mean, Pikazinski, an offensive player, but he's a guy that can make things happen and play defense. but this is an awesome, awesome power play unit.
Keep in mind that while Cleveland is on the power play looking for the extra penalty point, if Buffalo should score, it could be worth 2 or 3 points. That's another reason that Rudy Pikuzinski's out there. Whoa, what a shot by Zoran Karic. He gunned it. And there's the 1-1.
Let me tell you what that is. That is his signature shot. That is what Zoran Karic does. He's got that right foot. NASA should borrow this to send rockets to space. I mean, you're going to see it. Marinero, nice little feed. Now Karic is going to get it, trap it down, and just send it. And he puts it up high, and it's a goalkeeper's nightmare.
Well, it was a blazing shot. Looked like it was fired out of a cannon. And the Crunch converting on the 1-1, the penalty shot and the power play. So Pikuzinski comes out of the box. There's another look at Karic. Guns it past Jamie Swanner, who's been spending a lot of time bouncing off the carpet in the early going here. 10-12 to play in the first half. 6-4. Cleveland leads in this opener of a best-of-3 NPSL American Division semifinal series. Orff punching it out. There's the shot and high as the Blizzard had some chances but couldn't convert. Let's take a look at the NPSL's regular season scoring leaders, and they were from Cleveland. Marinero with 248 points. Karic was second with 222. And notice down there in fourth place, Rudy Pikuzinski of Buffalo. So you're seeing 3 of the top 4 offensive minds in the NPSL here tonight, and we're expecting far more fireworks this evening.
I'll tell you what, Otto Orff, as he has the ball, great night he is having so far, as he just did a wonderful job to prevent a strong attack on the part of the Buffalo Blizzard as things were at 6s and 7s momentarily. So Orff having a good night for Cleveland.
Now the Blizzard setting things up. Jamie Swanner coming way out of the box, trying to spread the defense. In it goes. Swanson was there, but the ball wasn't.
Cleveland's got to shore up on defense. They looked a little ragged the last couple times down the floor.
Kelderman against Alabi. Alabi, good footwork. Now to Medved, inside and just over the net. And Swanner continues to be tested. Coming up at halftime in the locker room. We'll go live inside the locker rooms, talk live with a key player or coach for the first half, and update you on the NPSL playoff action, including highlights from the Chicago-Kansas City series, and that dramatic St. Louis-Wichita overtime game we'll be talking about as well. Coming up in the locker room, the NPSL game of the week at halftime. 6-4 your score, 9:15 to play in this first half as the Blizzard trying to tie this thing up. There's a push, pretty clear-cut penalty, or actually a foul, not a penalty, and the free kick for Buffalo. Oh, Orff, Kelderman with a ball that danced up and off Orff, and from our vantage point, it looked like it might have a chance of getting in that net.
Well, Kelderman's got a big foot, and he's not afraid to take it from the perimeter, go after a three-point shot if he can. And now Buffalo, what it's done here is set up a corner kick, so this is an excellent opportunity against set pieces, terrific scoring opportunities. So Buffalo getting a chance here, and Cleveland again starting to be put to the test. In this game, the momentum shifts are rather quick. I mean, Cleveland gets that power play, the shootout. They go up on Buffalo by 2 points, but now the Blizzard coming back strong, trying to equalize.
Now Randy Pikuzinski, whose penalty cost the Blizzard 2 points moments ago, put it to his line mate Darty, who kicked it high and into the end zone. But we talk about set plays, and it's off any stoppage that you'll see them. And the intentions of this club, the Buffalo Blizzard, are to get the ball to Darty or Pikuzinski. Otto Orff led the National Professional Soccer League goaltenders with the most wins this season at 25. And there are many in the Cleveland organization who tell you he should have been playing in the All-Star game that was hosted at Cleveland, but Chris Vaccaro of Baltimore and Jamie Swanner of Buffalo were the goalkeepers for the American Division, and they have both had tremendous seasons.
Well, really, as you pointed out at the outset, Lee, the American Division, the division of goalkeepers. I mean, Chris Pete, certainly a talented goalkeeper in the National Division with Wichita, but so many great goalkeepers, and because of that, Otto Orff overlooked for the All-Stars, but he doesn't care at this point. He's in the playoff.
So the free kick at the three-point line. Black over to Pikuzinski. Now Pikuzinski back to his brother. The give and go. Oh, a high shot by Black. And Santos seems to have twisted a knee.
Ralph Black also on the carpet. Black took the shot, then he collided with Tim Tima. And Chris Santo is up, and he seems to be okay, but he's wincing a little bit in pain as well. So, you know, Buffalo getting some opportunities. They're really working it around here. That's Rudy trying to get it back to Randy. Randy misses it. Here comes Ralph Black. He's going to come in, tee it up. And what you don't see is the collision with Tim Tima afterward.
Now, Rudy put it just a little behind Randy, but Randy was there, and the goal was his if he had the ball on his foot. Karich now working with the ball, a handball by Black, and it'll stay in Cleveland's possession.
Well, this is a tense time for Buffalo because Marinero and Karich are on the floor. Again, Trevor Dawkins, the coach for Buffalo, knows Marinero and Karich are going to get the points, but what you have to do is contain them, limit them. Don't allow them too much room to work with because they can do wonders without any room.
Now Swanner picking it off there in the goal area. The lead pass to Kelderman, who loses it to Fernandez on the boards, but it's kicked into the stands by Doherty, and Cleveland will take possession once more.
Now Fernandez a little bit slow to get up again. He's bothered with a knee injury, but so far has had a good game. And of course George with a bum knee. What's his job tonight? To take care of Rudy Pikuzinski. He seems to be enjoying it though, and he seems to be okay. And he's a gamer, a very talented defender, part of the USA five-a-side indoor World Cup team that participated in the Hong Kong. Very talented, skilled player. And again, that's a problem if you're a defender on this Cleveland Crunch team. So much talk about the Cleveland offense, but Fernandez and the rest of the defense a very big part of Cleveland's success.
Well, the Blizzard working it now. Oh, kicked away, and now Marinero put it to midfield with the Blizzard once again take. Gardner. Swanson with the shot. Oh. Well, that was Dean Kelly who had a chance but put it wide. Now Marinero on the wing. It's one-on-one. Oh, Marinero run down from behind by Kelly, and Swanner taking the ball away. Good defensive effort by the Blizzard. And it goes end to end in the NPSL. Kelderman bouncing off. Dean Kelly there, almost touched it with his hand. Threw down the Crunch defender.
Kelly just cleared Carbonero out of there. That's one way to clear the box, but unfortunately the process, he cleared himself out of the box and couldn't receive the pass.
The Blizzard setting things up with 6:55 to play in the first half. They trail 6-4 in this first of a best-of-3 American Division NPSL semifinal.
In Buffalo, you're seeing them play ball possession. You might be saying, why, aren't they taking more shots? Well, you want to make sure you take the perfect shot because, without it, Cleveland is off to the races with Marinero and Karich.
We mentioned Kelly a moment ago. Check out the work he does when he doesn't like where the defender is. Just threw him away.
But see, the process, he didn't see the ball coming, but he did what he had to do because those two were jostling in the box, and you cannot let the defender get the advantage. If you start, and there's Carbonero. Carbonero's starting to use the hands a lot.
Well, Black was thrown to the floor, but he was called on the foul as the physical play continues. And the crowd here doesn't like it. I was kind of wondering how that came about myself. Black seemed to be the one who was banged up, but the Crunch get the ball back. Well, the Blizzard taking away an errant pass. They try to set things up. We have 6 minutes, 15 seconds to play in this opening half. Santo puts it back to Hagen, the player assistant coach. Gardner with the shot. Well, that was Kelly. No, it was Gardner. Gotta get my glasses. Oh, Doherty now, the cross pass to Santo, but he can't control it. Still the shot off the crossbar! Santo with some power. And Otto Orff is saved by the wood.
He better touch that woodwork because that shot rattled.
Well, Santo, who has been thoroughly abused by his former teammates in Cleveland, trying to get some life into this Blizzard offense. Santo had his pocket picked on the goal that made it 4-2.
And it's an example of how Buffalo gets their defenders involved in the offense.
Swanner, good catch there. Goalie to goalie, end to end. Otto Orff and Jamie Swanner both have great arms, but as Dave has mentioned, Cleveland incorporates Orff's arm into its fast break attack. Yes! Beautiful! Pikuzinski to Pikuzinski! What a play! Again off the boards. This Buffalo team uses the wood as an extra attacker. Randy.
Rudy to Randy. It's Rudy to Randy. They do this all the time. It's Pikuzinski squared. And that is skill, my friends. You got to know where to put it off the boards here. And then Randy just comes in as the trailer and is able to knock it home.
We've got a tie at 6-6. 5 minutes left in the first half. It's the NPSL. Don't go away.
Play with the soccer ball of the pros, Candace, the official soccer ball of the National Professional Soccer League. Guaranteed for long-lasting high performance. Hand-stitched for superior quality, uniquely designed. Candace, the soccer ball of the pros. Available at soccer specialty stores everywhere. When soccer is the game, Candace is the name. Candace, the official soccer ball of the National Professional Soccer League. Candace for your team or league. A soccer ball that's one kick ahead of all the others.
Crunch fans, playoff action comes to Cleveland this coming Sunday at 3:05 p.m. at the Cleveland State Convocation Center. Catch all the excitement as the Crunch takes on the arch-rival Buffalo Blizzard. Tickets are available for Sunday's game and for Wednesday's wrap-up at us, so order your tickets now.
It's crunch time in Cleveland. Stand up and shout. It's crunch time in Cleveland now. Crush!
This is me, Vicky. Before I went on a diet and started using an Easy Glider, I lost 125 pounds. Here I am, 2 years later, still using my Easy Glider, and I haven't gained any of the weight back.
Easy Glider's not just for exercise anymore. This 20-minute workout gets you on your way to total fitness with cardiovascular conditioning, muscle toning, and yes, weight loss.
I watched what I ate, I drank a lot of water, I used my Easy Glider, and that's how I lost 59 pounds.
It's low impact and works both your upper and lower body. You can burn up to 300 calories per workout.
I tried jogging, playing racquetball, and even starving myself, but nothing lasted or made me feel as good as my Easy Glider.
And it folds flat for easy storage.
You get a lot of exercise for your money with an Easy Glider.
Call toll-free 1-800-841-0300. We'll bill your credit card 3 easy payments of $19.95 each. You get a full 60-day home trial with a money-back guarantee. Total price $59.85 plus $9 shipping and handling. Call 1-800-841-0300.
Well, Buffalo has tied this game at 6. Trevor Dawkins happy with his club. Let's hear what he told him at the timeout.
You did one. It was just like you run out of ideas and just whacked it in there. You know, but we got to pick our time and we dink it in there, whatever, and crash it. Come on, it's a terrific effort.
Well, Dave, Trevor Dawkins doesn't sound like it was planned or strategy, but his club is controlling the action now.
Well, they're getting a lot of ball possession. You had a sense that something might happen for Buffalo because they were controlling most of the game, and indeed it happened. I think what he was telling his team is to make sure you work within the system, and if things are not going well, don't just give up and dump it in and see what happens. You still have to play a consistent game because this is the Cleveland Crunch you're up against tonight.
Well, here's Pikuzinski and Pikuzinski again. Doherty out on the wing. This has been the line that's done it all for Buffalo. Shot and a score! Doherty! All by himself. Otto got Orff.
He did indeed. And the fans here are orphing, I guess.
This was really impressive performance by Doherty. The defense is so concerned with Pikuzinski and Pikuzinski. Doherty got an opening and just bangs it in.
Well, that's the speed of Doherty. Again, soccer's about creating space. One way you do it is you use your speed. And he gets around Bernie James. And, of course, James just signed by Cleveland, maybe not in the best of fitness. And Paul Doherty is able to take Bernie James to the cleaners and score.
Well, the Blizzard have 8 points on the board, and all 4 goals are off the feet of the Pikuzinski, and Doherty line. They have been impressive. And they're still out there. Doherty and Fernandez rather, going head-to-head in a spin at midfield. And the intensity is picking up with 4 minutes, 15 seconds to play in this first half.
Now we're starting to see bodies, a lot of pushing and shoving. They're going to start jostling for position.
Oh, almost a goal there. Swanner diving from one side of the goal mouth to the other. As Tommy Tanner had an opportunity there and sent it just wide. Tanner parked on the side of the goal mouth there, waiting for another try. Doherty now picking it up. A line change. He's got Pikuzinski breaking in. Can he get the ball to him? No, he looks to Santo. Shoot, score! Santo! Buffalo, the Blizzard, are blowing strong.
Well, it's a beautiful shot by Chris Santo, and I tell you what, it shows that the defenders of the Blizzard are involved in the offense, but what's happening here is now Cleveland is reacting to everything. Look at how much room Santo has there. The Cleveland defense a little bit back on their heels. They've got to get more aggressive and put more pressure on Buffalo, although it could be a long night for the Crunch.
We'll be back with more. It's 10-6. Stay with us.
First edition, all new Pacific's 1993 Premier Edition National Professional League Trading Cards. A complete set, 110 super high gloss cards featuring players from all 13 teams. Order this Premier Edition collector set today. Only $12.95, including shipping and handling for all the action, all the stats, and all your favorite soccer stars. Order your official NPSL 110 card set now by calling toll-free 1-800-551-2002. Only $12.95. Visa and MasterCard accepted. Allow 4 to 6 weeks delivery. These cards are a kick.
At the back post.
Let's go down to the Blizzard bench and listen to Coach Trevor Dawkins.
But they got through there. You know, that's a terrific shift, guys.
Hey, 3:45. Let's go. Defense first. Defense first. Defense first, boys.
I tell you what, Trevor Dawkins said that was a terrific shift. That may have been an understatement of the night because it turned this game around for the Buffalo Blizzard with that Pikuzinski, Doherty line, and Chris Santo. I mean, Buffalo doing it all. And you heard the fans saying defense first. So Buffalo's got to tighten up the defense, but Gary Henley, believe me, he was telling his boys, we got to play tougher defense as well because Buffalo is getting all kinds of green to work with, and because of that, they could be in the money today because they now lead by 4 points.
34 seconds into this second quarter, the Crunch scored to make it 6-4. Since then, we've got 3 unanswered Blizzard goals, 2 of them coming very close together, and the Blizzard are blowing strong. Olabi now marking Hagen very closely as the Crunch try to pick up the defensive pressure. With 3:28 to play in this first half, the Blizzard have jumped into the driver's seat.
And that's the irony of this whole thing. We talk about Cleveland's offense, but really the difference in this series may be how well Cleveland's defense can play because Buffalo's got some offense as well. And we know Buffalo's got a very talented defense. Cleveland has got to be equal to the task defensively. And of late, they have to be a little bit disappointed with the defensive effort.
And it's interesting to note, we have really not heard much except for a penalty shot from Marinero tonight.
And of course, the one time that he was able to take his old buddy, Chris Santo, one-on-one. But other than that, they've been able to hold Hector Marinero in check.
Oh my goodness, Jamie Swanner lost sight of the ball. And the Crunch are on the board. Sean Medved with a goal that had Jamie Swanner completely baffled.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Sean Medved was trying to take a page out of Hector Marinero's book. And just we'll talk about struggles for Cleveland. Look at Medved. He's going to say, yeah, I can do the bicycle kick. I saw Hector do this in the All-Star game. Well, he needed a little help with a deflection from a Buffalo defender. I mean, Hector does it cleanly. Sean's got to work on this a little bit, but still, this is first-class goal. And believe me, try that a few times in the backyard, kids. It'll take you a while to come up to that skill level.
Well, the bicycle kick, perhaps the most exciting play in soccer, went off of John Gardner, but it got in the net, and that's all Cleveland cares about. So, with just over 3 minutes to play, it's back to a 2-point game, 10-8, and Cleveland picking up the pace here. Good save by Orff. Taken cleanly, he throws long to Nassim Olabi, who works off the boards. Kelderman taking it away. He's got Kelly in front of him and an awful lot of red shirts as well. We've got a foul. That's not at halftime. Our special In the Locker Room segment. We'll go live inside the locker rooms. We'll talk with key players and the coach from the first half and update you on the NPSL playoff action, including highlights from the dramatic Chicago-Kansas City series. We'll also be talking about that St. Louis-Wichita game, which St. Louis came up with an upset in the first game of that series, a dramatic overtime victory. All that's coming up in the locker room at halftime, which is 2 minutes and 35 seconds away.
Well, Cleveland's starting to step back into this game, so now the fans here in Buffalo really getting into it. Blizzard putting it forward.
Oh, Pikuzinski, a nice heel pass to Daugherty. But Daugherty was tied up by the defense, and the Crunch are really packing it in front of the goal mouth now.
Well, you know, that's what we talked about during the break.
Karich, the lead pass to Carbonara, who couldn't get a foot on it.
Cleveland's going to have to play better defense. They know that. They're certainly capable of it. You know, they're a team that is underrated at times. Defensively, they have a tremendous goalkeeper in Otto Orff, so all they have to do is tighten up the defense. They've already gotten the goal. They're right back in this game, down by 2.
Pikuzinski looking for his brother Rudy, who's hanging out around the goal mouth. Santo got the goal. Yes, another one. The same play. He just moved to the other side, turned and fired, and Santo has put together the last 2 goals for the Blizzard.
And what did Otto Orff just say? He said, I never saw it. And why? Look what Rudy Pikuzinski's doing. He's causing all kind of havoc in the box. Rudy is just swarming in the box. He is making a nightmare for Otto Orff. You'll see Randy Pikuzinski. He's going to get it back to Chris Santo. Rudy Pikuzinski's right in front of Otto Orff. Orff never sees this shot by Chris Santo. Tees it up. Never sees it. He can tell that the players are going to the right, and he's going to react to the right, but he never sees it because of that. He can't make the save.
Well, the Blizzard are back in front, 12-8. We've got 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this first half, and it has been non-stop, end-to-end action in this second quarter. And here come the Pikuzinskis again. Now the Crunch. Joe Fernandez defending well, stopped the rush, but the Blizzard have got possession. And they have suddenly found out what to do with that ball. Whoa! Timo with a forearm to the face of Randy Pikuzinski. I'm surprised we didn't see a card there.
Well, I think at that point it could be argued. Well, no, it can't be argued.
No, it can't be argued. That forearm shivered.
I was going to say it could be argued that it was contact based on momentum, but that was contact based on contact.
Well, there was momentum also, but it was in a forearm. In the form of a forearm shot. Oh, Swanner, the foot save!
That's why he's the wizard of the Blizzard.
That had net written all over it, but Swanner had a spelling correction.
Well, I tell you what, he turned it from an N to a K, and he made the save. And that's what we talked about, why he's the wizard of the Blizzard. He's got all the skills, the hands, the feet, the body. He does it all, comes up with a big save, and that'll be a save they'll take to the locker room if they can get out of this first half with a 4-point lead.
Well, we've got 25 seconds to play in this first half. Swanner still working in there, picking up, and he'll throw long just to play out this half. Pikuzinski couldn't get a foot on it and just concedes the ball to Otto Orff. There's a long pass. Marinero is there, marked by 2 members of Blizzard. We got down the last 5 seconds, and this first half has been quite a show. It doesn't get any better than this in the NPSL.
I tell you what, we've seen some great saves tonight by both Orff and Jamie Swanner, but look at this. This is one-on-one here, and Swanner's going to react with his feet because there's no way he's getting down on the carpet to save it with his hands. And this guy's got to be happy. This guy's got to be happy. Both did wonderful in the first half, and because of that, for the Crunch.
Well, 12-8 the score. We'll be back with In the Locker Room, our halftime festivities. Don't go away.
The following is for veterans, their spouses, and widows, age 45 to 75.
Lottery tickets. We never missed a week. My husband and I knew the odds were ridiculous, but it was only a couple of bucks, and it was fun. And Ron died 6 months ago, and I found out we didn't have enough life insurance. I owed almost $6,000. Turns out we could have easily afforded extra life insurance for the price of a couple of these.
Veterans Life Insurance Company announces term life insurance for as little as $1 a week, just for veterans, their spouses, and widows, age 45 to 75. Call this toll-free number for free information. There's no medical exam, no waiting period, and your benefits never go down.
I have my own policy now from Veterans Life. So someday my kids won't have to go through what I just did.
Call 1-800-233-100 for free information about dollar-a-week insurance from Veterans Life Insurance Company.
Welcome back to the Odd in Buffalo. It's the NPSL playoffs coming to you live and exclusive on Sports Channel America. Buffalo leading Cleveland 12-8 after one half of end-to-end action. And we promised you exciting soccer tonight. But I don't think even we expected, especially the second quarter that we saw, Dave. It was spectacular.
Well, a very exciting second quarter. It started with Cleveland seemingly starting to gain some momentum, but then Buffalo comes storming right back. I think right now Buffalo has to be very, very happy with things. They've got Rudy Pikuzinski and Doherty involved in offense, but perhaps the real highlight of the first half on offense is going to be Carriage teeing it up. It goes off the rear boards, the ricochet. Look at the shot. It's going to scout the bicycle kick, and thanks to, goes off John Gardner's thigh, but it still counts for the Cleveland Crunch, and that's 2 points. So Cleveland maybe has the artistic goal of the first half, but where it counts on the scoreboard, Buffalo has the advantage.
Well, it's been quality for Cleveland, but the quantity is in favor of the Buffalo Blizzard, 12-8. And the Rudy Pikuzinski, the Doherty line,
and Santo,
their defender in that group, have just been dominating in the second quarter here.
Well, that's just been it. And the fact is, when they're out there, I think the defense for Cleveland right now is half trouble. Who's going to take the shot? Is it going to be Paul Doherty? Is he going to steal from the point? And during that stretch, it seemed to me as if Cleveland defense was being a little bit too reactionary, a little bit too much back on their heels, and they were letting the Buffalo Blizzard come at them in waves. And it's tough when you have to react defensively. You've got to sometimes be proactive, force the pressure, come up with the steals. Cleveland wants to do that because their team, they love to counterattack.
This is just one of 4 semifinal division playoff series in the NPSL. 3 others are underway. In the Wichita-St. Louis series, this has been a big surprise. Game 1, St. Louis, the 4th place finisher in the National Division, defeats Wichita 17-15 with a dramatic overtime goal. And remember, these are best-of-3 series. Wichita is in a hole.
I'll tell you about David Moore with the goal, 7 seconds into overtime. But the real story there, Wichita was up 15-12 late in the game, and then all of a sudden St. Louis bangs a three-pointer to tie it up 15-all, force the overtime. The crowd at the St. Louis Arena going nuts. And right now I have to think the ambush has got to be riding high because an incredible comeback. They go into Wichita, they just need to get 1 of 2, and then they advance.
Well, in these best-of-3 series, you can't afford to lose the opening game. And in the other National Division playoff series, the Kansas City club on the road at Chicago came up with a 1-point victory, and of course they're now in a position to wrap it up on the 4th at home.
Well, the Kansas City Attack coming up with a big win on the road, and that's very important in the playoffs because in a 3-game series, you know, if you can come up with that road win, it can really maybe give you a chance to sweep the series and get that all-important rest because, believe me, teams would like to have some rest before they advance to the next round.
Now, of course, we're watching one American Division playoff series here in Buffalo and Cleveland. The other is the Harrisburg Heat against the Baltimore Spirit. Baltimore won the American Division. The Heat were the 4th place team, but I'll tell you, in a 3-game series, Harrisburg has given the Spirit fits all season long.
Well, I'll tell you what, smart defense this time of year wins games. You've got to play defense all throughout the game. Wichita learned that the hard way in the game against St. Louis. So if Harrisburg can play good, tough defense, and Jim Pollahan, the coach, certainly has got a good defensive unit, maybe they can pull the upset against Baltimore. And clearly with that rivalry, or the intensity, you can cut it with that old proverbial knife. It is the kind of intensity we're seeing tonight with Buffalo and Cleveland. You're going to see it Baltimore and Harrisburg.
Well, we'll be back. We'll take you into the locker rooms as Live in the Locker Room continues. It's halftime, the NPSL Game of the Week on Sports Channel America. Don't go away.
Are you ready for a change? Wouldn't you like to slide into a new body? Hi, I'm Kim Alexis. With my career, I have to stay in shape, so I'm always looking for a better way to work out. Now I've found the Slim Slide. It's fun, and I get great results in less time. Sliding started as a training method for Olympic athletes. Now it's the newest craze in aerobics on the West Coast. Why? Because you burn fat fast, up to 400 calories in just 20 minutes. And it focuses shaping where we need it most, our lower body.
The Slim Slide is a world-class workout, yet it's appropriate for people of all fitness levels. By swinging your arms, your whole body is involved, so there's no better cardiovascular exercise.
The Slim Slide reshapes your lower body. It firms your inner and outer thighs, and tightens your buttocks, and even slims your hips.
Now I can get everything I need in just 20 minutes.
Whoever thought that working out could be such a blast?
It's not boring, so I know I'll stay with it and lose weight.
The Slim Slide is made of space-age resin and includes shoe covers so you can slide your way into a new body. It also comes with my easy-to-follow workout video. Because being a mother of two, I know how important it is to work out at home. And Slim Slide stores so easily. Finally, an aerobic workout that's fun and helps you lose weight. So, if you'd like to slide into a new body, call toll-free now and order my workout video and the Slim Slide from Fitness Quest.
To order the Slim Slide with Kim Alexis, including her workout video, call 1-800-325-1212. That's 1-800-325-1212. We'll bill your credit card 3 easy payments of $19.95 each. And we won't bill the last payment till you've tried it for 60 days. You get a full 60-day home trial. The total price, $59.85 plus $9 shipping and handling. To order, call 1-800-325-1212. Call now.
It's halftime. The NPSL playoffs, Cleveland and Buffalo. The home Blizzard leading 12-8. Let's go into the Blizzard locker room and hear Trevor Dawkins chat with his club.
Well, I think Trevor Dawkins, at times a man of a few words. I think at this stage of the season, you know, you're up by 4 points. His team knows what they have to do. They have to continue to try to control Marinero and Garrett.
They have done a superb job of controlling the league's 2 top scorers.
No. But when it's down there, left foot.
Yeah.
You know, don't...
It's a lot easier, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, unless, you know, because it had a little bit of pace on it, and you're letting it come across your body trying to hit it. It's coming from Rudy to here.
Play with it.
Left foot. Okay. Don't let it come across your body with pace, because that's real hard, and that's what happens. You know, when all there, boom, goes.
I think Trevor Dawkins happy with the defensive effort of his Buffalo Blizzard. Right now looks like he's fine-tuning some offense, giving some pointers to some players on some shots they take in the first half. And this is an important time for the coach, because what he's doing, he's giving players things to think about in the second half. He was telling a player that we didn't, you know, we're unable to see who he exactly was talking to, but saying that, you know, in certain situations it's okay, you can use your left foot. You look at Rudy Pikuzinski. Yeah, is he a player? He's got ice on the neck. He's the type of guy that leaves a game with a lot of bumps and bruises because he comes to do one thing and one thing only, win. And he'll do it. He wants to win at whatever cost he can come up with, and because of that, I mean, that's an intense guy. Believe me, he's thinking about a lot of things. He wants more points in the second half, and he wants to win a championship here in his hometown. This is what has made this part of a great story. Rudy Pikuzinski, after playing in Cleveland, finally gets the chance to play professional soccer in his hometown with the Buffalo Blizzard with his brother, Randy Pikuzinski.
In fact, a large number of this Buffalo club are from the Buffalo area and the state of New York. Let's take a look at the scoring, because it has been a real shootout in this first of 3 playoff series, best of 3. For Cleveland, they opened with 5:17 into the game. Tanner came up with a 2-point goal. Then 36 seconds into the second quarter, Marinero with a 2-pointer. Marinero with a shootout for 1 point, then Karich with a power play goal for 1 point, and Medved closed out the scoring at 11:40 of the second quarter with 2 points. They've got a total of 8. But the Blizzard blew strong in that second quarter. In the first, at the end of the quarter, under a minute to play, Doherty got him on the board. Then Doherty struck again, 3:47 into the second, followed by Pikuzinski. Then Doherty with his hat trick of the night. And then the defender in that quintet, Santo, came up with back-to-back goals. He struck just under 2 minutes apart, and that's the total of 12. 12-8 is our score. And the man who has really been a catalyst, I think, Randy Pikuzinski, seems pretty happy.
Well, he should be. You know, sometimes he gets overshadowed by his brother, but Randy, a very talented midfielder, can play defense, but tonight has been very active in the offense as well. And it looks like a very loose Buffalo locker room. You look at Chris Santo there near the chalkboard, Chris Kelderman standing up, Trevor Dawkins. That's the first time I've seen a smile on his face. I mean, you're looking at a bunch of Chris Kelderman walking around. Of course, he's had a pretty good night defensively. He's taken a couple of shots. Chris Santo with the long hair. He's had the last couple of goals, taking a nice cool drink. He deserves a nice cool drink. Basically, the starting five, if you will, has been involved in all the points tonight for the Buffalo Blizzard. So, I mean, this is a loose locker room, and that's sometimes the part that you'll have success with in the playoffs. If you just come in and know that, yes, we got to do it in 3 games, but we still have to play our game. We can't lose our minds. Just play what we've been doing all year long, stay cool, and you can come away with a victory.
Well, certainly if there's anything Trevor Dawkins wants, it's for the rest of his club to get involved, because it's been the front 5 that have controlled this game. We'll be back with the second half of tonight's NPSL game after this.
Play with the soccer ball of the pros, Candace, the official soccer ball of the National Professional Soccer League. Guaranteed for long-lasting high performance. Hand-stitched for superior quality, uniquely designed. Candace, the soccer ball of the pros. Available at soccer specialty stores everywhere. When soccer is the game, Candace is the name. Candace, the official soccer ball of the National Professional Soccer League. Candace for your team or league. A soccer ball that's one kick ahead of all the others.
Crunch fans, playoff action comes to Cleveland this coming Sunday at 3:05 p.m. at the Cleveland State Convocation Center. Catch all the excitement as the Crunch takes on the arch-rival Buffalo Blizzard. Tickets are available for Sunday's game and for Wednesday's wrap-up contest, so order your tickets now.
It's Crunch time in Cleveland. Crunch time. Stand up and shout. It's Crunch time in Cleveland now. Crunch!
There are 13 teams in the National Professional Soccer League, but they only wear one brand of gear, Patrick. The NPSL is a league of fast-paced, exciting soccer, and the stars of the NPSL demand only the best. Whether it's Patrick jerseys, shorts, bags, warm-ups, shin guards, sandals, or shoes. So play like the pros of the NPSL and soccer players around the world. Insist on Patrick at your local sporting goods or soccer store. Patrick, the official supplier of the NPSL.
Well, here are the shots, the difference. The home club has outshot the visiting Cleveland Crunch 21-13. We're at halftime, the NPSL American Division semifinal series opener, and this is a building that is accustomed to playoffs and successful teams. The Sabres, of course, the hometown hockey club, used to be an ABA team here a few years ago, but tonight the odd belongs to the NPSL. And let's take a look at the statistics at halftime. Dave, tell us the story.
Well, the story there, you see Buffalo with most of the ball possession and consequently more of the shots. But look at Otto Orff. I tell you what, he's come up with some incredible saves tonight. He's got more of the saves with 9, and that has really maybe been the difference, or certainly part of the difference, and why there's a 4-point difference, because, you know, Orff was able to come up with some saves that otherwise would have been goals, and Buffalo could be out to a real big lead here.
Well, the fouls are certainly in favor of Cleveland, and that certainly has helped the home team. The one guy who has really had a tremendous first half is Chris Santo, a defender for Buffalo.
A nice feed he gets here from Doherty, and Santo cranks with the left foot and blasted home. Santo out of North Carolina State, an indoor veteran, used to play in Cleveland. He's having fun now in Buffalo, and that's a defender's smile right there. And he's going to get another one coming up here. You'll see Randy Pikuzinski here on the right side, and he just tees it up. And look at Rudy Pikuzinski in front of Otto Orff, and because of that, Otto never saw it. And Rudy and Randy, they love the Pikuzinskis here. They're the hometown boys in Buffalo and the stars of the Buffalo Blizzard. And they like them in San Diego. This is amazing.
Well, the folks in San Diego get to see Rudy and Randy on Sports Channel America.
We're definitely at Buffalo. I could have sworn I saw snow on the way over here today.
Oh, we are definitely not in San Diego. I would have noticed that. Well, Rudy and Randy Pikuzinski combined for 271 points this season. Rudy, as we've mentioned previously, is the all-time leading playoff scorer in the National Professional Soccer League history, and he is giving a taste of that postseason tonight.
You're looking at Chris Santo lean up against the boards, and why you got to feel good for Chris Santo getting those 4 points tonight for the Blizzard, because he also has to mark a guy named Hector Marinero. I mean, only the leading scorer in all the NPSL, no big deal. Well, you know, earlier tonight he let Marinero get one in, so he was able to come back and score 4. So in personal matchups, it's Santo 4, Marinero 2.
Be very interesting to see the pace of this play as we open the second half. Cleveland has got the most prolific offense that this league has ever seen, perhaps any indoor league has ever seen. And you just get the feeling that the Crunch can bust it loose. And the Blizzard have got to keep the scoreboard alive for themselves and find a way to continue clamping down on Marinero and Carriage.
Well, I think the Crunch are going to have to do a better job on defense, especially when Pikuzinski, Doherty, and company are on the carpet. Also, Jamie Swanner is going to have to know that in the second half, he got away maybe a little bit easy in the first half. He's going to see more from the Cleveland Crunch in the second half because Marinero and Carriage, these are guys with titles dancing in their head. They want to win the championship. You can talk about all the offensive accolades, the All-Star MVPs, and that type of thing. But the bottom line is this time of year, you got to win it in April. These teams have been working out since October, and through all the snow, the bad weather, getting to games, the intense games, for these guys, this is what it matters. And you see George Fernandez for the Cleveland Crunch. I mean, Fernandez playing a lot tonight. Why? Because he knows he has to be out there for the Cleveland Crunch.
Interesting to note that Cleveland brought in Bernie James on a flight from Seattle, Washington today. James is the all-time block shot leader from the old NPSL league, and he's here ready to play if Fernandez's leg falters. Well, we're underway, and the Blizzard picking up where they left off. Pikuzinski, Rudy is in the corner, Randy moving to assist him. Rudy with the back kick to Randy, who was out of position, and the Crunch moving things up.
George Fernandez, we were just talking about him. I mean, look at that. He's changed the knee bandage he has. Again, bothered with a bum knee, but listed as probable, and I think now he's listed as definite because he knows he's got to play tonight. Now, Marinero knows that Rudy Pikuzinski loves corners. So if Rudy loves corners, what are you going to do? You got to do whatever you can within the limits of the law, and Hector did what he could there.
Well, apparently the law didn't see what we saw, as Hector was lucky Rudy didn't have a rip-away jersey.
It's got to be good fabric because there's a lot of that jersey tugging that goes on all night. This field is very big at times, and at other times it's very small.
Well, Fernandez working against the Pikuzinski brothers. Got it into Carriage off the board. Swanner, oh, what a save! But Fernandez is still there, and it's headed in. Fernandez, who beats Swanner, pushed the ball to the far side, and it was Carriage who heads it into an empty net. And, that was strictly freelance soccer, but it certainly worked.
Now look at this here. Swanner makes a tough save. Fernandez now settles it. Look at the presence by Fernandez. Chips it over to Carriage, and Carriage bangs it home. And that's frustrating for Swanner. Now there's Carriage. That's what he's all about. He's just waiting there. He doesn't get out of position. He was at the far post, waiting for the chip from George Fernandez. Fernandez, realizing that Swanner was reeling a bit, knew he had some time to work with, so instead of just taking a quick shot, which might have gone right back to Swanner, he saw Carriage at the far post, just chips it over to him, and now we have a 12-10 game.
By the Crunch stealing a page from the Blizzard playbook, it's Rudy Pikuzinski who's been swarming the net and bothering the goalkeeper, but that's exactly what just happened to Jamie Swanner as the Crunch draw first blood in the second half.
And we're going to have an over and back violation coming up here against the Buffalo Blizzard. Again, once you advance it from your own defensive third past that yellow line, you can't put it back. Buffalo did. Free kick, Cleveland.
Marinero working with Marinero. There's the shot. It's wide. Marinero following. Has got it against the boards. Now Olabi chasing it down. The Crunch continue to control. Carriage. Medved with the shot. Oh, almost past Swanner after he knocked it down and almost went between his legs and in. The long pass now. Easily played off the boards by the Crunch. Sean Medved will take it the other way. Olabi now. Crossing for Schlofauer. There's an open net, but luckily for Swanner, no. There was no Crunch member there to take it.
Cleveland pressuring right now. They're doing what they have to do to try to come up with a steal, start the counterattack. Sean Medved getting into the act, Hector Marinero. They're coming out here for offense, and they got to come out gunning because they want to get quickly back into this game, which they have accomplished.
There is another playoff series underway. St. Louis at Wichita tonight. This is late in the first quarter. St. Louis looking to knock out the Wichita Wings, the champions in the regular season of that national division. Remember, St. Louis shocked Wichita in the series opener. Game 2 is underway, and St. Louis can wrap it up tonight. Best of 3 series can't emphasize that enough. This first game means everything.
St. Louis is a tough building to play in at Wichita. 9,000 seats at Kansas Coliseum, and that place absolutely rocks. Tell you what, I have a good feeling about the St. Louis Ambush. David Doyle's had a terrific season, joined the Ambush at midseason. The Ambush have been playing well, and even though they finished in 4th place, again, we talked about how, you know, you throw out standings, throw out stats. It really is a team that is playing the best soccer, the smart soccer this time of year that can walk away with that trophy that we saw at the outset of the show.
The Detroit Rockers, the defending NPSL champions, did not make the playoffs, but it was a year ago that they came from nowhere and got hot and rolled all the way to a title for Motown.
You know, people have asked me, can you predict the winner? And in this league, I don't think you can. I mean, I've seen too many crazy things happen. St. Louis and Wichita showed us last night that a game is not over until that fat lady gets singing, because it is just that type of year it's been in the NPSL. Shocking upsets at times. I don't think there's any way you can tell who really has the advantage right now in the playoffs. I don't think it's a team with overwhelming momentum, and that's going to make for great playoffs for the fans and gray hairs for the coaches.
Well, with the scoring system in the NPSL, with a 3-point goal, 2-point goals, and of course the penalty kicks and power plays, clubs are just never out of games. You could be down by 10 and erase it in the 4th quarter. That's what makes it exciting.
Well, the scoring system classic last night, at which St. Louis down by 3 points because there's a chance for a 3-point goal from beyond 50 feet. They were able to tie it up and force it into overtime. And when Steve Paxos, the commissioner, came up with those rule changes a couple of years ago, it shocked the soccer world, but it's worked.
Well, Cleveland trying to work something here. Marinaro in front with the ball, turns and fires for the corner, just wide. Swanner with the rebound. Now takes a while to look things over. He passes to Black, and now Black brings it up. Across to Randy Pikuzinski, who drives long, but couldn't get it to his brother Rudy. Oh, Randy with some rough play. Beating up on Hector Marinaro. And a free kick for Cleveland.
We're seeing tight marking on Cleveland. That Pikuzinski line is out there, and we knew that Cleveland would have to play better when they're out there, and they are.
Well, remember when Hector held Rudy? Randy just got the payback. Free kick, Cleveland.
These two lines are going to be all over each other. It could resemble wrestling at times, I think.
It is only going to get more intense. We're just under 11 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Oh, Swanner saved there. Was off his feet when the ball got in.
Well, I tell you what, it's a nightmare for Swanner and the Buffalo defense. The last thing you want Cleveland to have is a free kick. I mean, Zoran Karic, I mean, that is sheer power. Fortunately, it's blocked and deflected for Buffalo. But it's just a deadly, deadly combination on set pieces. And here we go again. Cleveland has another set piece coming up. It's going to be Karic with all that skill. He's going to handle the corner, and then he's got several options to go to. One, of course, is a guy named Marinaro.
That's where Karic puts it out, but Marinaro hits it wide. Bounced off the boards, and now back to midfield. Otto Orff way out of his goal. Driving it deep, trying to set something up. Headed away by Black. Now Marinaro crossing for Karic. Swanner way out if Karic can get a foot on it, but Black defending nicely, and Hector's in to bother Swanner, who now looks long, and he's got Santo. Orff with the header, but the Blizzard control, and they've got 4 attackers now. Santo trying to steal. Hagen controlling the ball nicely. He's got Santo in the goal. Oh! Just off the foot of Dean Kelly. He couldn't get his foot on it, but he was there. Buffalo with a lot of opportunities.
You have to watch Hagen when he's out there. He's a very skilled midfielder, and he can turn on players, get shots off great passes, and that's what he's doing.
Orff gets it and wings it to Karic. He's marked by Black. Karic waiting for help. Got it in Marinaro. Santo heads away. Now Fernandez heads it back in. Karic along the board. Fernandez working it off the board to Marinaro, but Swanner got in the way.
Excellent play by Swanner. The last thing he wanted was a chance for Hector to turn on that ball. He had to jump out. You might say a bit risky, but he had to do it.
Uh-oh. Tanner with the big gun there.
Look at David Hagen. He takes his shot, and that is Dean Kelly right there at the old doorstep, but he's a foot late at the doorstep as Sean Medved covering for the Cleveland Crunch.
Oh, I hate to say it's a game of inches.
What you just did. That's the thing about the playoffs. We really could bring out all the cliches, and I know I brought my book of cliches somewhere.
Well, Hector Marinello set 5 NPSL scoring records this season. He had the most goals ever, the most points ever, the most three-pointers ever, the most two-pointers ever, and the most shots ever.
What are you trying to say here?
He's Mr. Ever.
We could bring out another cliche.
He's the Muhammad Ali of the NPSL. He be the greatest.
He does float like a butterfly, and he ask any goalkeeper, he stings like a bee.
Ouch. 8:55 to play. The Blizzard protecting a 2-point lead in this opener of a best-of-3 American Division semifinal playoff series.
Now look at Swanner. He looks like he's at a driving range. He's getting all the midfield to work with. Cleveland is not going to be fooled. They just want to control. They will let Swanner fool around with it, but they want to stay on their men and not to give up any room in their defensive third.
Well, here comes trouble in the form of Nassim Olabi. Feeding over to Carbonara, who turns and fires just high. The crunch, feeling that crunch time perhaps approaches.
You have my book of cliches. Carbonaro there, good defense, a good counterattack on the part of the Cleveland Crunch. Nassim Olabi, and here's a guy that sometimes gets lost in the Crunch shuffle, if you will. We talk about Marinero, we talk about, Karich, but Olabi, a very skilled player. He can bring the ball through midfield, and he's a good passer. And one of the many unsung heroes on this Cleveland Crunch team. Again, the Crunch finishing in 3rd place in the NPSL, but they could be one of those sleepers that are really poised for playoff time.
Jamie Swanner driving long. Otto Orff. End-to-end it goes. Now Orff throwing it back the other way.
I think I just said 3rd place. Cleveland finished in 2nd place.
Medved, nice pass as he worked it off his heel, but the Blizzard take it the other way. Pikuzinski and Kelderman. Now it's a foot race. Fernandez and Kelderman, but Cleveland, Swanner just booted it end to end. I don't know, was he trying to score on Otto?
Well, either that or you're trying to get it to Rudy Pikuzinski, who's right there posted up, and you chip it high in the box. It's tough for a goalkeeper because he's got to concentrate in traffic. He's got to get up there and grab it while an opponent is heading the ball. So anytime you chip it high, if you can get into that position in the box, anything can happen.
Now the Crunch kicking away a set play, and it's a foot race now. Olabi and Swanner going for it. Swanner can't touch it. He's way out of the box. Gets a foot on it, and back to the net he'll go. Doherty off the boards, facing Fernandez. There's Pikuzinski. He didn't try to shoot it in. Randy tried to push it to Rudy. If he'd taken a shot, I think he could have scored.
Beautiful feat by Doherty, and you're right. Randy should have tried to get a shot off, and instead it looked like maybe he was trying to direct it to the far post.
Well, he just directed it to Rudy, who had it taken off his foot by the Crunch. And now Cleveland goes on the attack. Karich, this long shot off the board. Swanner picks it off and sort of assesses the situation. Line changes for both clubs. Fresh legs for both clubs as we go around the 7-minute mark in this 3rd quarter. It has been fast-paced from the beginning of this. End-to-end action. Marinero. He's got Karich out in front, but didn't try to get it to him.
Yeah, Doug Swanson challenged Marinero, and sometimes that'll leave you in no man's land, and that's what happened. And the Crunch looked like they had one of their patented 2-on-1s going.
Well, Pikuzinski just picked up a card.
He's going to the box, and this is a big situation now for Cleveland. They're going to have a shootout coming up. As Rudy Pikuzinski, a little bit shocked, he's going to have to go to the box.
Well, considering what we have seen happen to Rudy tonight, I'm surprised that we saw a card for this.
Well, Pikuzinski goes off. Here's what happens. Karich there. Look at this. Oh, yeah, a little high kick there. And see almost the referee.
For the ball, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, I don't know. He thought the ball was taking a bounce. And he was
We'll be back with a shootout in the penalty situation. Buffalo leading by 2. Stay with us.
Can't get enough of America's first World Cup? You will in Soccer America. How about our national team and the Olympics? Soccer America delivers.
I've been reading Soccer America ever since I went head-to-head against Pelé back in the 70s. I like Soccer America because it profiles personalities. It reports on the pro college women's and international scenes and focuses on the very pulse of soccer in America.
Call toll-free to learn more about Soccer America, the USA's only national soccer weekly. 18 issues, just $19.94. Call 1-800-453-6500 now.
There are 13 teams in the National Professional Soccer League, but they only wear one brand of gear, Patrick. The NPSL is a league of fast-paced, exciting soccer, and the stars of the NPSL demand only the best. whether it's Patrick jersey, shorts, bags, warm-ups, shin guards, sandals, or shoes. So play like the pros of the NPSL world. Insist on Patrick at your local sporting goods or soccer store. Patrick, the official supplier of the NPSL.
Pool the Master's Way and learn from the best. 2 of America's favorite instructional videos are now available only through this special TV offer. Get tips from Steve Mizrak, Pretty Boy Floyd, Iwa Mataya, and other pool greats. Now for a limited time, you can order both videos for the price of one. Learn the secrets of breaks, banks, defense, position, angles, and trick shots like the massé and the jump.
Take it from me, The Miz. When you purchase Pool the Master's Way and learn from the best, you'll learn everything you need to know how to shoot pool like a pro. With these 2 tapes, you can do almost anything, except beat me.
World champion Steve Mizrak takes you through the best way to improve your game. Call the number on your screen and we'll send you this wonderful 2-video cassette collection for just $24.95 plus postage and handling.
2 for the price of 1? How can you go wrong?
These videos have never been offered together, and they are only being offered for a limited time, so act now while supplies last. Call 1-800-238-3100. That's 1-800-238-3100.
Welcome back to the Odd in Buffalo, where Buffalo protecting a 2-point lead, but Rudy Pikuzinski's headed for the box, and here's why.
Well, Pikuzinski is a gamer. He's all over the field. He's trying to stick with Zoran Karic. Back to the referee. He's trying to do what he can. Instead, he spanks him with the foot. And Karic wasn't going to let him get away with that. And the referee, right on the call, sends Rudy Pikuzinski off. And that means it's shootout time for Cleveland.
And Hector Marinaro, who got the first shootout in the first half, now going to get Swanner again. Swanner with the save. Marinaro looked uninspired.
You know, it's funny. It's not often that you can say at the beginning of a shootout that you sense something is going to go wrong for the shooter. But in this case, Swanner was all the way out near the top of the arc, and that doesn't leave Marinaro much room to work with. And on that occasion, you seem to handle a little bit almost too nonchalantly. And the winner comes out, Jamie Swanner, but still Buffalo is down a man 5-4. So they can hold on to that 2-point lead, and now Cleveland is going for a 1-point goal.
Right. In the NPSL, if you draw a penal penalty, you go to the box. After the shootout comes a 2-minute power play. So the Buffalo Blizzard, for the second time this game, have a Pikuzinski in the box and are faced with a man-down situation.
And he's going to be in there 4 minutes because he also got the unsportsmanlike conduct, but that will not be a power play. He'll just have to stay off the carpet another 2 minutes.
Now, we mentioned that Pikuzinski is the all-time leading scorer in NPSL playoff history. He's also one of the league's most competitive and most intense players. And a little back talk to the official after that kick in the butt he gave to Karic cost him an extra 2. That doesn't help your club, though Rudy Pikuzinski has been everything to his team tonight. It'll be interesting to see how they fare over this 4-minute stretch.
You know, Rudy Pikuzinski, he's not a bad guy. He's just an intense competitor. And we talk about him stirring things up and that type of thing. It's just that he's a gamer. He's all over the field. You see him on offense, and you see him on defense going on against Karic, trying to get involved in the defense. Unfortunately, it cost him a penalty, and now his team's got to defend against the power play, and they have a minute 22 left to try to kill it off.
Well, if you're a Buffalo fan, you have to love his intensity because it's his personality that makes him one of the top performers in the NPSL. The Blizzard doing pretty well without him. Keep in mind, Cleveland has the advantage, 5 players against 4. But for the moment, if the Blizzard can come up with a shorthanded goal, it'll be worth 3 or 2. Cleveland can only get 1 point if it scores on this power play. And Swanner was spectacular, but Karic taking advantage of his being out of position. And there is the point.
And there's Rudy Pikuzinski's reaction, and I knew this was going to be good night because look at this. I mean, the shot there by Tanner, the ricochet, Karic half volley, he just does not miss. He's got such a crisp, hard shot. And Rudy Pikuzinski now is just going to bide his time for another 2 minutes into the penalty box and serve as unsportsmanlike conduct. But Zoran Karic just does not miss for Cleveland, and now it's a 1-point game. I mean, keep in mind, Buffalo at times it seems as if, you know, they've been in control. They've always had the lead, but Cleveland started with a 2-0 lead, but then since then, Buffalo's had the momentum and has been able to maintain a lead, but Cleveland is right in this game.
Well, we've got 5 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. I'm Lee Zeidman along with Dave Johnson. We're coming to you live from the auditorium in Buffalo. This game one, the best of three American Division semifinal playoff series between the Cleveland Crunch and the Buffalo Blizzard. The teams are at even strength, but Rudy Pikuzinski, the fourth leading scorer in the regular season, the all-time leading playoff scorer, is in the box, and there's another goal! And this will count for two as Cleveland jumps in front, and Pikuzinski's presence in the box has really hurt. Mark Thomas, who has not been a factor for Cleveland until now, has scored the goal that has put Cleveland back in front for the first time since early in the second quarter.
Well, we talked about Alabi being an unsung hero. He does all the work on this, and Thomas is right where he has to be. And, you know, Chris Kellerman, the Buffalo defender, did not do what he wanted to do, getting in between the ball and the offensive player. But Alabi doing the magic, using the boards to get around his man, get the ball back, get the shot off, and right there is Mark Thomas.
So with Cleveland leading 13-12, 5 minutes, 5 seconds to play, we'll pause at the odd in Buffalo.
First edition, all new Pacific's 1993 Premier Edition National Professional League Trading Cards. A complete set, 110 super high gloss cards featuring players from all 13 teams. Order this Premier Edition collector set today. Only $12.95, including shipping and handling, for all the action, all the stats, and all your favorite soccer stars. Order your official NPSL 110 card set now by calling toll-free 1-800-551-2002. Only $12.95. Visa and MasterCard accepted. Allow 4 to 6 weeks delivery. These cards are a kick.
10 minutes because not enough.
Let's get our heads up.
One goal. Let's go. One point.
Welcome back. We're at the odd in Buffalo. Trevor Dawkins talking to his Chargers. And what a momentum swing we saw with Rudy Pikuzinski stuck in the box. And you know, because it was a misconduct penalty, he's got to serve the full 2 minutes. It doesn't matter what happens on the field, so he's still in the box.
That glare continues from Rudy Pikuzinski. You just saw Trevor Dawkins. Remember that smile we saw at halftime? What happened to the smile? What happened is now the Crunch lead the Blizzard 13-12. Again, you know, at one point the Blizzard up 12-8. In the NPSL game of soccer, a 4.5-point lead, you might as well call the game even, because that's the way emotion and momentum can shift. And again, I think part of it gets down to the fact it is just so hard to play defense in this game with the same consistent defensive intensity. And because of that, teams are able to come back into it.
This is not a game for the faint at heart. The drama changes almost with every shift. The momentum is always swinging one way and the other like a quick pendulum, and it makes it a very interesting affair.
Well, it's sometimes like a game of musical chairs. It's the team that's playing the good defense and the smart soccer in the last minute that wins the game when the music stops.
Medved put it off the board, but did it with a push, and over the ball goes to the Blizzard. Both clubs with their second lines on. Carbonara controlling ahead to Mark Thomas, who scored the goal that put Cleveland ahead. We have 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the quarter, and Rudy Pikuzinski should be out of the penalty box soon. But Rudy's in a predicament that he can't come out of the box until there is a stoppage of play. So his penalty may seem to be longer than it actually is. The Blizzard working. Now there's Rudy Pikuzinski watching the action. He is in an interesting predicament. A misconduct penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct, misconduct, put him into the box. Now he serves 2 minutes, but he cannot come out until there is an official stoppage of play. Oh, Doherty, just wide had beaten Orff. So Pikuzinski is missing a good portion of this third quarter, and that has certainly hurt his club.
Although one way to stop play is score a goal, and that's what Buffalo is trying to do right now.
Mike Britton, who has not logged any minutes in this game up until now, is on for the Blizzard. Britton is a guy with great speed, also a physical player. Wondering why we haven't seen much of him tonight, Dave.
Well, I think in this situation, Mike Britton lacking some of the experience that perhaps some of the other Buffalo defenders have. So Trevor Dawkins electing to go with what he knows, and that's some of the more experienced players. And now Britton getting some time on the carpet with Rudy Pikuzinski in the box.
Well, here's an update from that playoff game, St. Louis and Wichita. Wichita has stormed back. They had trailed 1-0 late in the first. Now in the second quarter, it's 5-3. Wichita must win or be eliminated. The Wings, the National Division champions. We've got a trip, and the ball goes over to the Crunch at midfield.
Well, the fans certainly into this game in Buffalo, as Rudy Pikuzinski has to be like a fan right now watching the sideline. They're booing the foul against Mike Britton, but it was a clear trip. But that's the fans into this. They want to get their Blizzard back on top as they're down by 1.
Tima sizing things up. Black takes it away. Kelly back to Britton. Britton to Randy Pikuzinski. Doherty working inside. Off the board. Pikuzinski tried to feed himself, but didn't have the speed to get there. Black bandling now. Pikuzinski on Fernandez. Orff tosses it downfield. Foot race between Santo and Marinero. Karich is there, but Britton taps it away. Good defense. Doherty now gets things started for the Blizzard. Crowd trying to pick up their club. 1 minute and 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Rudy Pikuzinski still in the box, but here he comes. A guaranteed stoppage in play, and Pikuzinski's back.
He better stretch out. He might have some cramps after being out for that length of time. So Rudy gets back on the carpet. Mike Britton goes off. And now the Blizzard have a set play situation. Pretty good scoring opportunity here. Just to the right of the box, about 20 feet out. And of course, trying to go ahead here, down by 1.
Well, Pikuzinski went into the box at 8:11. He came out of the box at 1:33 for a 2-minute misconduct.
All for one kick against Zoran Karich. But that's, again, you know, Rudy knows this. You have to play smart soccer in the playoffs. He knows that he's better served on the field. And it's tough to control your emotion, tough to control your intensity when you're that type of player, and all of a sudden trying to shift gears just because it's the playoffs. Because of that, you know, Pikuzinski ended up in the penalty box in the regular season, and he's going to end up in the penalty box.
Well, Rudy is rested and ready to go, and we'll see if his appearance back on the floor can change the score. Carbonera against Doherty. There's a fight for you. You can feel the intensity has already picked up on the part of the Blizzard. The pace is quicker. Nedved for the Crunch. He's tripped. A free kick now for Cleveland.
And Rudy Pikuzinski right in the thick of things. He gets the foul. The Crunch get a free kick coming up. I mean, the Crunch right now, things are going their way. They just have to keep playing smart defense, and they know they'll get offensive opportunities.
Don't mean to make it sound like Buffalo is a one-man team, but we have seen enough of the Blizzard to appreciate this one man's impact.
Now, you just saw a lobby getting a foul on Rudy Pikuzinski. A lobby and Pikuzinski, and that's the stir-up part of Pikuzinski. He drew the foul against the lobby because he was right in a lobby space.
Now Pikuzinski will go get in the face of Otto Orff, a position he has been in most of the night. Black working against tough marking by the Crunch as the Blizzard set up their offense.
And the Blizzard are not a one-man team. They've got a lot of weapons. Paul Doherty, Chris Santo and company. But Rudy, I think, is what makes
Doherty turns and fired, but George Fernandez was there to knock it away. Swanner, the header back to midfield. Doherty and Randy Pikuzinski. Doherty into the corner. George Fernandez, a good sliding tackle to take the ball away.
Yeah, what knee strain?
Yeah, he's not playing like somebody who's got a bum knee.
What happened there? Carbonero got caught up going through midfield, and Fernandez had to pick up Carbonero's assignment, and what a job.
Here comes the lobby. He's taken out by Pikuzinski. Randy with the foul. as the quarter, well, actually it was not about, time has elapsed.
But a lobby
We've got a 13-12 score. We'll take a break and be back with the fourth and final quarter of the NPSL Game of the Week after this.
First edition, all new Pacific's 1993 Premier Edition National Professional League Trading Cards. A complete set, 110 super high gloss cards featuring players from all 13 teams. Order this Premier Edition collector set today. Only $12.95, including shipping and handling, for all the action, all the stats, and all your favorite soccer stars. Order your official NPSL 110 card set now by calling toll-free 1-800-551-2002. Only $12.95. Visa and MasterCard accepted. Allow 4 to 6 weeks delivery. These cards are a kick.
There are 13 teams in the National Professional Soccer League, but they only wear one brand of gear, Patrick. The NPSL is a league of fast-paced, exciting soccer, and the stars of the NPSL demand only the best. Whether it's Patrick jerseys, shorts, bags, warm-ups, shin guards, sandals, or shoes. So play like the pros of the NPSL and soccer players around the world. Insist on Patrick at your local sporting goods or soccer store. Patrick, the official supplier of the NPSL.
Introducing two-time Olympic medalist, captain of the U.S. Olympic water polo team for the past 3 Olympics, chiropractic doctor and athlete, Terry Schroeder.
If you're serious about training and winning, if you wish to intensify your strength, if you want more power, you want Performance Powerplex. Performance Powerplex works with your workout to enhance your energy level. It promotes lean muscle gains and reduces post-workout soreness. It tastes delicious and it's simple to use. Just mix with water or your favorite juice and drink it before or directly after your workout. Get fit fast. Power up with Performance Powerplex.
Call 1-800-292-PLEX. That's 1-800-292-7539 or send $42.95 plus $5.95 shipping and handling to Powerplex Performance Nutrition Incorporated, 4345 Lindbergh Drive, Dallas, Texas, 75244.
Don't wait for a dental emergency to happen. Get DenTemp today and be prepared. Caps and crowns can loosen unexpectedly and cause embarrassment. Fillings can fall out and cause pain and discomfort. DenTemp was developed by a dentist to temporarily replace loose caps and lost fillings until you can see your dentist. DenTemp helps you avoid unnecessary pain, helps eliminate embarrassment. Don't suffer needlessly. Get DenTemp today. Call now for more information and money-saving coupons.
All the fans are having a great time here tonight at the Odd in Buffalo, where Cleveland leads the home team Blizzard 13-12 as we prepare for kickoff of the fourth quarter. Trevor Dawkins, the coach of this Blizzard club, has got to get his club together, and that means rough and tumble soccer.
And you see Ralph Black just kind of giving Nassim Alabi a nudge in a lobby. Well, I think he extended the point a little bit. He probably could have stopped rolling a few feet earlier, but he thought he'd take it all the way to the dasher board and see if he could play on the referee's emotions. It didn't work. I think Trevor Dawkins has to be telling his club. The club was very loose at halftime as we took a peek into the locker room. But this Blizzard team was up 12-8 at halftime. Now they're down, 13-12. I mean, they've got to do something now to get back in the offense. They need to score a goal. I think it's important now, especially for the Pikuzinski-Darty line that's been so dominant tonight for Buffalo. I mean, you got to go with what has worked. He's got to get them out there. Rudy Pikuzinski spent a lot of the third quarter in the penalty box. Rudy's got to play a smart game in the fourth quarter for Buffalo to not only to get back into this, to take the lead. As for Cleveland, smart defense is the key here. It's the key for both teams, of course, but they've got to play smart defense, and Cleveland knows with Marinero and Carriage, they will get offensive opportunities. Look at Buffalo Jack. He's having a good night, and so are the Blizzard fans. Now they just need a win. We got a ball coming up here, Lee.
That's what's got the crowd going, but in a few moments, they'll turn their attention back to midfield, where the Blizzard kick off this fourth quarter. It is a one-point game. The home team trails. Darty on the attack. A shot very high over the head of Otto Orff. Let's update that other playoff game in the National Division. St. Louis has jumped back in front of Wichita, 7-5. Goals by Doyle and Moser have a 7-5 lead for St. Louis. And remember, St. Louis, with a victory tonight, eliminates the regular season champion in the National Division, the Wichita Wings. they've got a long way to go.
No, that even go into Saturday morning the way those two teams play.
In the second quarter, the Blizzard had success when they swarmed the net and were in Otto Orth's face. In the third quarter, it was the Crunch who stole that strategy. They swarmed Jamie Swanner, and they now have a 1-point lead.
Well, you know, Buffalo was playing good ball possession soccer. They were getting a lot of opportunities. Rudy Pikuzinski was causing havoc in the box, and things were going well. I think a big factor in the third quarter was the fact that Rudy Pikuzinski spent so much time on the sideline in the penalty box because of the unsportsmanlike conduct. Well, what does that do? Yeah, it's only one player, but then that messes up your line changes, and it kind of affects the rest of the team, and I think it did affect the rest of the team.
George Fernandez was just knocked over the boards and into the bench of the Blizzard. The hit came by Rudy Pikuzinski, and perhaps we're lucky they didn't get a card there. This was unbelievable.
Well, Rudy is not slowing up anymore. We just talk about the importance of him staying on the carpet, but he's going to continue to play his game. And give credit to George Fernandez. He's played a good game tonight despite the bum knee, and now he ends up on the bench, insult to injury.
These guys don't wear any padding, and it just won't matter because it's going to turn into a game as physical as any you'd see in the NHL as we play out the final 13 minutes and 50 seconds of this game. Fernandez. The free kick now as Pikuzinski puts it to Doherty. Oh, I thought he had his shot off, and we have a stoppage at play.
Well, look at this 50-50 ball here, both going for it hard, and well,
George took a jump. I thought he got knocked in, but George went in willingly.
He saw that on WWF. I mean, Rudy gave the little push there, but that was the World Wrestling Federation patent move over the top rope.
This is beginning to get ugly. Tim Bartow just put a forearm to the back of Dean Kelly's head. And that gave possession of the ball over to the Blizzard. Actually, it was Ralph Black's head. Now we've got another foul on the Crunch defenders.
Well, this is Marinero and Santo going at it. This has been a big matchup. Marinero's going to get the foul, although it was Santo that looked like he went over the top of Marinero's head. And, you know, we talk about physicalness of the sport. The old saying is, try telling your shins. Soccer is not a contact sport. It is a contact sport, not only in the legs, but again, these guys are not wearing padding. They're giving the body all over the carpet. The carpet does not give, believe me. And there you see, you know, Marinero and Carriage battling for the header, and it's Santo that goes up over Marinero, but it's Marinero that gets a foul as he was pushing off on Santo.
And folks, underneath that carpet is the ice the Buffalo Sabres call home. It's not comfortable to fall on.
Great stuff for your knees.
Now we pick up another foul on a Crunch. And we've got an injury here. That's Black again. Not sure when he took the kick, but he is in obvious anguish. Oh, either a hip or a knee.
Yeah, he twisted something after the fact. And sometimes those fluke-type injuries that are the most painful. I mean, that was not a pure trip. It was like he twisted something after he was tripped up. And now Trevor Dawkins is going to come out and have a look. And, you know, maybe we've not been mentioning Ralph Black a lot tonight. He's had some scoring opportunities, but a big defensive part. Who is his marking assignment? Doran Carriage. And he's done a good job.
No, Rudy Pikuzinski just got a card. Rudy Pikuzinski said something to the official and is going back into the box. Well, this is unbelievable.
Well, that's we have plots and subplots.
This is unbelievable.
Well, Steve Seamus here and Rudy Pikuzinski. Now, Pikuzinski, Rudy has got to watch it because he's too talented a player to stay off the carpet. Buffalo needs him, and this is the second time tonight.
Pikuzinski is livid, and you have to wonder, what could he have possibly said to the official after his teammate was fouled to earn another trip to the penalty box?
Well, maybe he was lobbying, saying, hey, that, you know, Tim Bartow came in hard on Ralph Black. It should have been a 2-minute. That's the kind of lobbying that goes on, and maybe Rudy's lobbying was a little bit too hard.
Watch the left of your screen. Rudy was gesturing to the crowd about something.
All right.
Perhaps Rudy was telling the crowd to say something about the official.
Well, he was lobbying to the crowd. He was doing some kind of lobbying, and because of that, that's where he spent most of the third quarter, and now he's going to, you know, we're 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, he's going to be there, and that's not where he wants to be.
And let's explain the predicament again. It is a misconduct penalty.
Not
it's
a power
2-minute
play.
penalty. It's not a power play. But Rudy is stuck in there until a natural break in the play. And that could be much more than 2 minutes worth of time off the floor. He was gone for over 5 minutes of the third quarter, a third quarter in which Buffalo was outshot 12-3. That's the last place you want Rudy to be.
Well, it's just that he's had an offensive story all night, and Gary Henley underneath has got to be smiling about this because that's one less thing he has to worry about.
Well, he's been the positive and negative story for Buffalo tonight. Hagen, the player assistant coach for the Blizzard, has it stolen away by Bartow.
And Hagen's the guy that's got to step up with Pikuzinski into the penalty box.
Well, we're told that Rudy says he was just gesturing to his parents behind the goal. I don't know what he said that got the attention of the official. It is getting nasty, folks.
Swanson right in the thick of this, and the foul coming up on Fernandez. So a free kick now here, just to the left of the box, and again, a set play. But look at the intensity here. Swanson's turning around trying to position himself, and Fernandez says, forget it, I'm not even going to let you get a shot off.
We have 12 minutes, 5 seconds to play in the fourth quarter, and a 1-point lead for the visiting Cleveland Crunch. We cannot state enough that this is the first of a best of 3. And in a short series like this, game 1 means everything. This is the only home game Buffalo will have. They need to make the most of it. Otto Orff being tested, but the Cleveland defense is helping him face the challenge. The ball knocked away by Marinero.
And he goes into the bench.
But I don't think he'll be taking a seat. Maybe he will. Carriage. Third quarter statistics. The score, 13-12. The shots, look at them, in favor of Buffalo, 24-15. Saves in favor of Buffalo. Blocks in favor of Cleveland. And the fouls are just about even.
Look at Santo there, Marinero. And now he goes to the bench. I think that, you know, they know this game is on TV. I think they're starting to hot dog it a little bit, perhaps. Or maybe he had a nice drink of water waiting for him on the bench, and he wanted to get it quick because...
Time to change lines.
A rather dramatic change of lines, though.
Carbonaro puts the ball onto a Buffalo foot. Kelderman is there. Doherty can't get a foot on it. Carbonaro back to back. Kelderman keeps it in play. And here comes Zoran Karic, and you don't want him alone. Swanner batting it down. Boy, that's a scary sight when Zoran Karic is in there against the goaltender by himself.
Yeah, you talk about Karic home alone. I mean, on the half volley, I mean, that is a goalkeeper's worst nightmare. And Karic just takes the shot because he's got the skill from long distance. I mean, he's a great three-point goal scorer.
Buffalo tries to get something set.
And again, Rudy Pikuzinski's still in the box. So, I mean, he's been in there now coming on 3 minutes. So, you know, again, this is one weapon that Trevor Dawkins doesn't have. It's one less weapon that Gary Henley has to worry about. But Buffalo's still maintaining a good portion of the possession.
You know, Mike Britton battling in there against Townie Tanner. Now Randy Pikuzinski's taken down. We have a call. Yes, a free kick.
Well, Karic gets the foul. So Randy Pikuzinski and Rudy saying, now why would, I bet you Rudy's saying, why wasn't that a penalty?
Well, we know what Rudy thinks. It's only a penalty if I do it. Doherty, the cross pass to Kelderman, who had an open net but waited too long to put a foot on it.
I think Kelderman, he's had trouble shooting tonight, and I think he wanted to settle it. He's had trouble in the half volley, but in that situation, he just sort of cranked and fired.
Santo has been the only Blizzard just to put a foot on the ball tonight. They all seem to be looking for an extra pass.
Now, bodies are flying. Lynn Carbonaro getting in the thick of things for Cleveland. He's bumping Paul Doherty around.
Kelderman out to Black. Black to Randy Pikuzinski. Randy's taken down. A card, yes! Shootout and power play for the Blizzard. And Rudy is out of the box because of the natural break in play.
Walt Schlotthauer gets called. for the penalty, and you could sense this coming. A lot of hard challenges. We talked about Carbonero bumping to the box. I mean, Cleveland just playing real tight defense, tight marketing, but one too many hard challenges is going to get you a penalty. And why a penalty there? I mean, he just went after the body, the heck with the ball. And this is a critical time because now the Blizzard get tied up. Then they go to the power play, and as you pointed out, they get Rudy Pikuzinski back.
Now, you might ask, why is John Gardner taking the penalty shot? Why not Pikuzinski, Doherty, Santel? Well, Gardner is the leading shootout scorer in the league this year. He's had 9 penalty shots. He scored on 8. Otto Orff awaits the delivery. Here goes Gardner. He's got 5 seconds. Oh, he missed! Wide, and didn't even try to take the second shot. I guess he figured the 5 seconds was already gone.
Well, actually, the ricochet came out, I think, too fast on him. I think, you know, it's a bit of an unorthodox style as he brought it over to the left side. And Orff, obviously, has probably seen Gardner before in the past. He brings it up to the left side, and Orff is just cutting off the angle and forcing him to take the shot. And, you know, Gardner could have done more with that, but instead he just put it right off the boards. So now a bit of momentum for Cleveland, but they still have to kill off the power play.
That's right. So 2-minute power play for the Buffalo Blizzards. With a goal, they can tie the game. But keep in mind, this is the 3rd power play we've seen tonight. Cleveland may take a defensive posture, but if the Crunch can score shorthanded, it's worth 3 or 2. So the Blizzard trying to tie up the game here as Cleveland will attempt to kill off this penalty. And the big guns, frankly, are off for Cleveland. And I'm a bit surprised by that. I figured that Marinara, perhaps Karich, would stay out.
Well, they need the defense, and, you know, Karich not known for defense at all, so Cleveland needs those defensive players. They've got 3 defenders out there, and Nassim Alabi.
Orff, good save. The long pass to Alabi, but Swanner's there to head it away. And now the Blizzard will quickly try to turn it because it's 4-on-3. Santo, it's kicked away.
Just see a great save coming up here. Otto Orff has made several tonight. A half volley shot there, and he's got to reach for it and then snare it out of the air, and then, of course, just a long outlet. It is a pretty good power play unit, penalty killing unit. You got George Fernandez, Tim Team, and Glenn Carbonero, the defenders, and then they put a lobby up front. They bring in Marinaro now on the penalty killing unit because, again, Hector, despite all the offense we talk about, he started his career out as a defender. You see him to the right there on the wall being lined up.
Oh, Doherty had a chip shot but couldn't do it. They're claiming handball. What's the call now?
Handball.
Handball. Some handball, some hand jive. The crowd comes alive.
Carbonero, of course, obviously disagrees with the call.
Looks like he had some bad sauce. Oh, he touched it. No question. No question.
Rudy Pikuzinski helping make the call.
Tim Tima, who got an arm on the ball, and now a shootout worth 2.
Yep. And the arm on the ball actually helped escort it to Otto Orff. So things all of a sudden have really unraveled for Cleveland.
Tim Tima, well, I didn't do anything. Not me.
I wasn't even on the floor. I mean, at that point, he's rather convincing. I mean,
I would never touch the ball.
He's a very intense defender, but he's actually a pretty good play actor.
Well, into the box he goes for 2 minutes.
That was the amazing thing about that. Tima, with that innocent calm reaction, was Glenn Carbonero, who was just on the field at the same time, reacted like a maniac.
Now let's explain the intricacies of this situation. Tima with the handball at 5:47. Into the box he goes. Now what's the value of this penalty kick?
The value of this is 2 points because it occurred within the box. And that's the reason why it is a serious infraction, because in effect, Tima was preventing a goal from being scored, and that's the ruling. The refereeing's been very sharp tonight. They've called a tight game. Why we have not seen the fisticuffs that sometimes this series could turn into is because it's been good refereeing.
But in addition, we've got Tima and Schlofauer are in the box. So there's a power play that'll come up after this penalty shot.
Power play comes up after the penalty shot, so
there it is. Paul Doherty That is his 4th goal of the game. And suddenly, the Blizzards jump back into the driver's seat, 14-13. But they still have a power play.
That's what we're talking about. They still have a power play after that penalty shot. That was the original foul on Walt Schlotthauer. And he has to stay off for another minute 21. So Tim Tema's back on the carpet, but, 2 points yielded. But still, the favor right now for the Buffalo Blizzard as they are the attacking team.
Doherty and Pikuzinski, it's 2-on-1 if Doherty can get the ball to him. The defense gets there. Pikuzinski shot at point blank, but Orff was standing there. If the Blizzards score here, it's a 1-point goal, a power play goal. The crowd of the Queen City starting to rock to a Queen tune. Very patient Blizzard attack here. Doherty tripped up. Santo back to Black. Hagen Santo shot, score! Beautiful! Hat trick for Mr. Santo. The defense was in position, Dave. Santo just lifted it up.
I'll tell you what was going on there. You could sense that it was going on. Trevor Dawkins has got to be happy with that. Santo, excellent finishing. But what set this play up was the ball movement. Buffalo very patient. They worked it around. That was the shot they wanted. It's very exhausting to play defense on a power play because somebody is always open. It's a lot of shifting on the part of the defenders. You can't always cover everybody. So Buffalo just kept working it around. Nice, crisp passes because of that. Santo on the right side found himself wide open. He gets the hat trick and bangs it into the upper reaches of the net.
He lifted it right over Otto Orff's head now with 8 minutes and 10 seconds to play. The Blizzards lead by 2, 15-13. We are all even as the Crunch are starting to feel crunch time. Excuse me, 15-13 Buffalo leads the Crunch.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cleveland right now is not out of this game by any stretch, but you just saw some weak passes. They've got to get their game back. They got to jump into this game quickly because Buffalo, with this crowd, is on the verge of running away with it.
Fernandez fed it in to Karich, who turned and fired wide on Swanner, and now Olabi passing it back out in front. Medved inside to Karich. Now Medved again off the board. Karich turning to Medved, who couldn't control. Pikuzinski to his brother Randy, and the foot race is on. Knocked away by Carbonara. Olabi and Kelderman in a fight for the ball, and there's a Buffalo ball. Pikuzinski just waiting by the goal corner, still controlling against 2 defenders, and Rudy is injured, taken down hard, but gets up and tries. Oh, he takes Orff out. Oh, it's getting nasty.
Well, Steve almost has to get in the middle of it. These players are flying around, and this really all started back when Nassim Olabi and Kelderman collided at midfield. And I think Olabi thought Kelderman should get the call. Instead, he got the call. The Blizzard are able to go on the attack. Bodies flying everywhere. Now, here's a case of the skill of Pikuzinski. Schlotthauer and the defenders for Cleveland are missing the ball and getting Pikuzinski. Pikuzinski stays down, trying to draw the foul, goes into the box. And now Olabi goes in to the box as he gets called for boarding, as you saw it there on the replay.
Well, back-to-back penalty situations called against Cleveland, and Buffalo gets an opportunity to score again. Remember, it's a 1-point shootout.
Well, Cleveland right now is come off the hinges.
We'll be back with the shootout after this commercial break. We'll be back live from the Autumn Buffalo after this.
Play with the soccer ball of the pros, Candace, the official soccer ball of the National Professional Soccer League. Guaranteed for long-lasting high performance. Hand-stitched for superior quality, uniquely designed. Candace, the soccer ball of the pros. Available at soccer specialty stores everywhere. When soccer is the game, Candace is the name. Candace, the official soccer ball of the National Professional Soccer League. Kendis for your team or league. A soccer ball that's one kick ahead of all the others.
Crunch fans, playoff action comes to Cleveland this coming Sunday at 3:05 p.m. at the Cleveland State Convocation Center. Catch all the excitement as the Crunch takes on the arch-rival Buffalo Blizzard. Tickets are available for Sunday's game and for Wednesday's wrap-up contest, so order your tickets now.
It's crunch time in Cleveland. Stand up and shout. It's crunch time in Cleveland now. Crunch!
This is me, Vicki. Before I went on a diet and started using an Easy Glider, I lost 125 pounds. Here I am, 2 years later, still using my Easy Glider, and I haven't gained any of the weight back.
Easy Glider's not just for exercise anymore. This 20-minute workout gets you on your way to total fitness with cardiovascular conditioning, muscle toning, and yes, weight loss.
I watched what I ate, I drank a lot of water, I used my Easy Glider, and that's how I lost 59 pounds.
It's low impact and works both your upper and lower body. You can burn up to 300 calories per workout.
I tried jogging, playing racquetball, and even starving myself, but nothing lasted or made me feel as good as my Easy Glider.
And it folds flat for easy storage.
You get a lot of exercise for your money with an Easy Glider.
Call toll-free 1-800-841-0300. We'll bill your credit card 3 easy payments of $19.95 each. You get a full 60-day home trial with a money-back guarantee. Total price $59.85 plus $9 shipping and handling. Call 1-800-841-0300.
With 7 minutes, 8 seconds to play, fourth quarter, Nassim Olabi is in the penalty box, and here's why, Dave.
Olabi going after Randy Pikuzinski and gets called for charging as Pikuzinski goes up and over, the referee right there to make the call, and that means a shootout for Ralph Black and the Buffalo Blizzard, and Gary Henley of Cleveland has got to be upset because his team committing fouls and causing penalties.
Here's Black against Otto Orff. Black just missed, and now back-to-back penalty shots go wide. Well, the first to the left, the second to the right. Otto Orff is a happy guy. And he's dodged a pair of bullets.
Look at this. Orff comes out and forces Black to go to the right, and Black goes too far to the right. And so Otto Orff doing what he has to do, and he's happy. He's a little bit relaxed now, but now Ralph Black's thinking, you know, I've done this before, but this is going to hurt all night long because I'd like to have that again. Anytime you get a shootout, the shooter seemingly has the advantage, and that's why it's a point of frustration. So Buffalo has to get back here on the power play, but Cleveland, again, in a penalty-killing situation. It's tiring, but they got to dig down, kill off this penalty. They're only down by 1 goal.
Want to emphasize again, if Cleveland can score shorthanded, the goal is worth 3 or 2 points. The Blizzard can only pick up 1 point during this second half of the penalty situation. The first half of the penalty shot, second half of the power play, the last 2 minutes.
But watch the ball movement. Buffalo's had some good ball movement on the power play, and that's what you want to do because you're forcing the defense to keep running. There's no point in stopping it.
We have 1:30 left in the penalty to Nassim Olabi. The ball squirts across the goal mouth. Paul Daugherty chasing Otto Orff.
Chris, the scoring machine Santo almost netted another one. I mean, he has just been amazing tonight. Keep in mind, you know, a defender for a while, he was on Hector Marinero, but we've been talking about him more offensively tonight.
Well, he's hat-tricked tonight. Paul Daugherty has 4 goals tonight. And the Blizzard are nursing a 2-point lead, 15-13. 6 minutes, 29 seconds to play in the fourth quarter of this first game in a best-of-3 NPSL divisional semifinal. Daugherty, cross-court to Santo, crossbar!
There are splinters right now showering on Otto Orff.
Santo gets another try into Daugherty, another crossbar!
Crossbar's going to come down.
For Otto Orff, it's better to be lucky than good tonight.
He's been good, too, at times.
He has been very good, but he's gotten a lot of help from the wood that squares off his turf.
And under a minute left on this power play, so Cleveland has to be feeling good right now, but it's a long 47 seconds.
5 minutes 50 in the fourth quarter. 40 seconds remain in the power play. Out of bounds, the ball goes.
Well, David, that'll help. David Hagen's shot there will help, and Nassim Olabi knows that he wants to jump back onto the carpet another 38 seconds. But now Otto Orff has a chance for the Cleveland Crunch to have some serious possession here. You know, they've got some time to work with and really work off that clock without Buffalo having possession.
It has been crossbar heaven for Otto Orff tonight.
Chris Santo, the half volley, bam, right off the wood. So Otto's saying, boy, I got to go out and touch that crossbar, but before he can, here comes another one. This is Doherty. Doherty in the box, and it's off the crossbar. Not even off the glass, off the crossbar. That is inches. You called it a game of inches earlier tonight. You're right on target, Lee. And unfortunately for Buffalo, those shots weren't.
Two crossbars within 20 seconds of each other as the power play enters its final 25 seconds. 5:30 left in the game clock. Nikozinski. Both of them were in the corner. Ball played out to Hagen.
Critical time right now for Cleveland. They've done a good job, but still 10 seconds left. They can't give up now on the power play.
Nikozinski out to Hagen. Doherty, beautiful play! Hagen had not taken a shot out there. I was surprised when he hit it hard, but he saw Paul Doherty there, and Doherty with his 5th goal of the night. He's got 10 of the Blues' 16 points.
Well, I tell you what, it was just what I was saying. It's a critical time on the power play for the penalty-killing team, the Cleveland Crunch. Look at Hagen. Doherty's open right there. I mean, he sneaks underneath the defense, and Tim Team is saying, how did we let this happen? Literally, for a minute 58, Doherty just knifes it through, and that's good finishing on the part of Paul Doherty. He had to do that on the volley in the air. He made that look easier than it was. But the point being, you talk about the frustration for Cleveland now. For 1 minute and 58 seconds on the power play, they defended. But you got to do it for the full 2 minutes. And that's why we talked about the closing 10 seconds of any power play is critical, because the defensive team can sense they've almost fought it off. But in that case, it was not over, and Buffalo comes away with a goal.
Well, Doherty has been impressive. That was a 1-point goal, not a 2-point goal. I've given him too many points tonight. And Doherty has now tied an NPSL record for most goals in a playoff game. 5 goals tonight. 4 other players have done that in NPSL history. 4 minutes, 40 seconds to play. A 3-point lead for the home Blizzard, as the Crunch now must consider, when do we take Otto Orff out in favor of a 6th attacker, and when do we start banging from the 3-point line?
Well, I think right now Cleveland's got another 2 minutes to work with before they have to pull a 6th attacker situation. But they got to get back into playing smarter soccer and creating some opportunities. They've had Buffalo too much of the play, and that means, George Fernandez is going to have to, work it up from the back, get it up into the offense, because right now this Blizzard crowd is ready to party into the night, have some wings and some Kimmelwick, and just have a good old time celebrating a Blizzard playoff victory. But this game is not over.
Especially when you consider that number 16 and number 21 for Cleveland are the 2 top scorers in this league. We haven't heard from them in a while. They have 4 minutes and 26 seconds left to work.
Now, Ralph Black, upset he got the foul. I mean, that's been a tough assignment for Black tonight, all over Zord, Karich. It's been a game of terrific matchups, and that's why you see the intensity on the faces.
Boy, Karich has got a gun. They're calling for a handball.
I think Cleveland wanted a corner kick, saying it went off Buffalo. Look at the replay. I mean, Karich is just deadly on this. And it clearly goes off Cleveland, but they were trying to say it went off Swanner. So it will not be a corner kick. It will be a goal kick there for the Blizzard. But 4:25 left for Jamie Swanner. He knows this is an eternity when you've got guys like Karich and Marinero in a 16-13 game. I mean, Karich, he loves to take 3-pointers. If it did get down late in the game, I mean, Karich is great at, this kind of stuff. In an earlier game this year against Buffalo, he had 12 points and 1 3-pointer.
Swanner looks long for Gene Kelly and Hagen. Hagen plays it off the boards, trying to feed it to Kelly. There was a step behind the defense. Hagen again to Kelly. He's there, but he's tackled. That was a scrub. Tremendous defensive effort by the Crunch, and we are approaching crunch time. A push on Cleveland. Karich is charged with the foul there on Black, and Black will get the free kick. Long it goes. Orff protecting his net. Kelly trying to tee it off. Hagen off Orff, and into the stands it goes.
We look at Otto Orff. He's got to get the ball out of there somewhere. It's like reaching for groceries. I mean, Fernandez has done what he can to just absolutely get all over the Buffalo attacker. But Otto Orff has to get in and grab lunch, and he did. Kelderman, goal! Out of nowhere! Orff never saw it. Well,
it ain't over, but it's getting there.
Well, it is getting there, and I tell you what, I was just about to say, I've been noticing some defensive inconsistencies on the play before that. You see Kelderman, he strikes this one time, bam. You know, look at all the Cleveland players standing around the box. No one was out there to pick up Kelderman. I mean, he had all the room in the world to work with. If he didn't take the shot, he could have made a great pass to somebody. Right now, Cleveland is having defensive problems, and Buffalo's starting to run away.
18-13, Blizzard in control. We'll be back with the final moments after this.
First edition, all new Pacific's 1993 Premier Edition National Professional League Trading Cards. A complete set, 110 super high gloss cards featuring players from all 13 teams. Order this Premier Edition collector set today. Only $12.95, including shipping and handling for all the action, all the stats, and all your favorite soccer stars. Order your official NPSL 110 card set now by calling toll-free 1-800-551-2002. Only $12.95. Visa and MasterCard accepted. Allow 4 to 6 weeks delivery. These cards are a kick.
3 minutes, 46 seconds to play. Cleveland trailing by 5, opts for the 6th attacker, and look who they've called out to change jersey.
We're getting Hector Marinero, the best offensive player in the league, but he's got a defensive history. That was the position he started his pro career at, so he can play at the back as the 6th attacker. But I tell you what, this is what's got Cleveland in the predicament. They've had some defensive lapses. You saw Kelderman getting a wide open shot play before that. No one picked up Dean Kelly. They're not picking up their man. Buffalo's had room to work, and because of that, they have a 5-point lead. And now Cleveland's got to turn on the offense.
Cleveland needs at least 2 goals. A 3 and a 2 or a pair of 3s.
Well, you just saw Carriage take the 3-point attempt. I mean, right now, things do not look well for Cleveland. Some of the players seeming a little flat-footed. That doesn't not mean they're giving up. It's just the appearance that it has right now that Buffalo clearly looks in control. And Cleveland has got to dig deep down this last 3.5 minutes if they want to have success, because not only are they struggling, but they've got this Buffalo crowd that is absolutely rocking here at the Yard as they want to put up a championship banner next to all that Sabres paraphernalia.
Well, Jamie Swanner looking over his attack. Mike Britton is deep. Marinera makes the save.
Now we'll see Swanner use that arm, because you want to get it upfield, maybe score a goal on it, but at least catch Cleveland in transition with Marinero up too far.
Swanner, who grew up in the St. Louis area, was a minor league pitching prospect at one point in his adolescence, and there is the goal that likely ices this contest. Randy Pikuzinski. An even 20 as the Blizzard turn up the heat on the Crunch.
And the Crunch are just collapsing. And Marinero's caught out here, Randy Pikuzinski. And they're coming in waves in that situation. And Cleveland right now, they're down by 7 points, under 3 minutes. As the Blizzard, the Pikuzinskis celebrate, Cleveland's going to wonder how they let this one get away, because they were in a position to win. Now 13-12, they got in penalty trouble, had some defensive problems, and never recovered. And maybe that was part of it. All those power plays Cleveland had to work on as penalty killers may have tired them out.
Well, 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play. The Crunch trail by 7 points. They need a minimum of 3 scores in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, you know, before you turn off the set, though, every time I say it's impossible or it may not be in the offing, something happens in this crazy league to prove you're wrong. So I will never say with 2.5 minutes left and a 7-point difference that it's over, because you never know what can happen in this game. I mean, goals, 2-3 goals can be scored in the span of 15 seconds.
And Cleveland has the guns to do it. Marinero, who's on as the 6th attacker, set 5 scoring records. Carriage with a free kick out to Marinero. Here's the 3-point shot, just wide. No, Carriage will probably kick it back out to Marinero again. Uh-oh. Rudy Pikuzinski in an open net. Santo, Britton to Pikuzinski. Britton. Marinero with the save, and it's waved off.
The Crunch get called for an over and back violation before that as they place the ball back over the yellow line again. That's a new rule, relatively new rule. Once it advances past the yellow line, you cannot put it back over.
Well, I'll take you on the other playoffs. St. Louis leading Wichita 7-5 in the third quarter. St. Louis trying to eliminate the Wings, who took the regular season title in that Western division, the National Division.
The Ambush still have to be riding high from that big 17-15 win last night in overtime. And you know, you have to believe off a win like that, there is some carryover. I mean, we always talk about, well, take it one game at a time and all that kind of stuff.
The Marinara high and long. If St. Louis wins, they'll win the series. They took the first game in sudden death, 17-15. And of course, they're trying to wrap tonight. You'll see a continuation of Sports Channel America's exclusive coverage of the NPSL playoffs. Perhaps we'll see Kansas City and Chicago. We'll bring you the best game available, and that decision won't be made until the last possible moment.
Well, I tell you what, it's hard to pick the best game because there's some great rivalries, some great matchups. You know, Baltimore, Harrisburg, Buffalo, Cleveland. I mean, just the perfect geographic rivalries in the American Division and in the National Division already. I mean, look at the closeness of the games.
Tonight's telecast of Playoffs 93, the NPSL Game of the Week on Sports Channel America, is intended for the sole use of the viewing audience. Any rebroadcast or reproduction without the express written consent of the NPSL, Sports Channel America, or Veris Media Services is strictly prohibited. We await the free kick. Randy Pikuzinski, and I'm sure Randy will be happy to know that tonight's NPSL Game of the Week was produced and directed by the incomparable George Barris, the commissioner of the NPSL, Steve Paxos, the director of operations is one of Buffalo's own, a hometown favorite, Paul Lahowski. Technical facilities provided by Image Video of this telecast is an exclusive presentation of Barris Worldwide Media Services.
I thought that was a worldwide organization.
You can just feel the earth spinning as we continue. Carriage now. 1 minute and 5 seconds to play. 7-point edge for the hometown Blizzard. No call. Yes, we do see a call. Marinara called for the trip on Randy Pikuzinski. And we are under a minute to play. What a hard-fought contest. We have been treated to.
And it has. The 7-point difference doesn't tell all the story because Cleveland was in a position to win this game, as I mentioned. You know, Cleveland out there doing what they can. I mean, we saw bodies flying, and at one point, perhaps it was the physical nature of the Cleveland Crunch that got them in a little bit too much trouble, as we saw a parade of Crunch players go into the box, and Buffalo took advantage of that on the power plays. And then they are able to get back in control of the game and then run up the score to the 7-point difference you see now. But Gary Henley's not going to throw in the towel with 55.8 seconds left. I mean, he's frustrated. He wants to know how this game slipped away.
Let's listen to Trevor Dawkins as his team plots out this next sequence.
There. Boom, you're over. Put it there. Hey. Guns and goes. You know it. Come on. Let's play it out, though. You've got 50 seconds. Let's just play it out.
You know, these benches are close together, and some of the Crunch coming over to express some displeasure
Michael,
to the Blizzard.
If it gets down there to you, I know that's a difficult one. I mean, just try and get hold of it.
Take
Don't
a look
flick it anywhere.
As you call the timeout, the two teams less than 10 yards apart, and Swanner talking to Carriage, who's upset about some things that have been done and said on this floor tonight.
Well, it's been an intense game. Carriage and Black involved in a lot of battles, and I'm sure Carriage has been right in front of Swanner a good portion of the night. I mean, this is all part of the rivalry. It's going to carry over into Sunday night. I mean, these two teams have already played 5 times in the regular season. They've been intense battles, and now they have to, you know, go at it again. I think what Trevor Dawkins telling his team in the timeout, I mean, the perfect example of a game is never over until it's over is last night with the St. Louis ambushing Wichita 17-15 in overtime.
Speaking of last night, it was ugly.
Freddy Krueger. I tell you, you know, it was ugly for Wichita because they had that game. Again, we cannot emphasize that much.
Jamie Swanner steps back and just heaves it. 45 seconds to play. Pikuzinski the header. Marinara picks it off. He'll put it on the floor.
Yeah, he doesn't have the arm that Otto Orff has.
No, but he thought about it for a minute there.
He said, what?
He was doing his Otto impression. Well, free kick for Cleveland.
It's been a physical game for you tonight.
Yes, it has. I've been clicking my Vic. Been as pensive as Mr. Orff and Mr.
Trevor Dawkins.
This was a nail-biter for quite a while. You can't ask for a more exciting contest than we've had here tonight. And if you've never seen the NPSL before, you've got quite a treat.
Well, I'll tell you what, the second game for Buffalo is going to be tough. They've done what they had to do, win at home, but now you got to go into Cleveland. And believe me, the Crunch have the fans in Cleveland, and they're going to be out in force on Sunday.
Fans counting it down. It's over. The train is about to leave for Cleveland.
And they'll be shuffling to Cleveland.
Buffalo 20, Cleveland 13. Dave, what do you expect when these two meet again?
Well, I think we're going to see the same kind of intensity and a lot of the battles that we saw tonight, but the difference for Cleveland will have to be defense. I mean, in the playoffs, often it is said that defense wins championships, and I think the story tonight was that in the end, Buffalo played better defense, and because of that, they were able to come away with a 20-13 victory. We saw a lot of Blizzard players wide open, and when you're wide open and have some room to work with, you're able to take shots, you're able to score, and you're able to win games.
Well, the Blizzard thanking the home crowd, and certainly the fans here had a big part in this victory tonight. And if you're going to pick one man to hang this victory on, you give it to Rudy Pikuzinski, who was the heart, soul, and certainly emotion of this club.
An honorable mention to Chris Santo coming from defense. He got beaten early in the game by Hector Marinero, but came back with 5 goals for Chris Santo. A big night for Chris Santo, and that's the kind of effort that Buffalo's going to have. Yeah, we know about Rudy Pikuzinski, but other guys have to step up in the playoffs and help out. And really tonight, Buffalo, you talk about the defense, they did a good job of containing Zoran Karic and Hector Marinero.
And here's what it looks like now. Cleveland against Buffalo. Game 1. A 7-point victory for Buffalo. Sunday afternoon at Cleveland. They'll meet again, and then April 7th, they'll play in what could be a winner-take-all. Buffalo can clinch this series on Sunday. This broadcast will be repeated Sunday night as part of our NPSL Game of the Week action. Also in the American Division, Baltimore playing at Harrisburg. That opens Wednesday, April 6th, then April 7th at Harrisburg, and then April 8th at Baltimore. Chicago and Kansas City. Game 1, Kansas City took 9-8. They will resume on the 4th at Kansas City, and then perhaps on the 6th at Kansas City. And also, St. Louis and Wichita. Want to update you on the score. We've been talking about this game all night long. St. Louis still leading 7-5 in a defensive battle in the 3rd quarter. The ambushed Wichita in Game 1. They can clinch this series with a victory tonight. Let's take a look at that series. Again, they're playing tonight. Wichita hoping to stretch it to a 3rd and final game.
Well, you know, it'll be interesting to see what plays out of these next series. I mean, clearly, every series right now still has the possibility of going the full 3. And I think really for this Buffalo, they go off the carpet tonight feeling confident, but it's a long road when you still have 2 games scheduled in Cleveland.
So for Dave Johnson, I'm Lee Zeidman saying good night from the Odd in Buffalo, where the final score is Cleveland 13, Buffalo 20. Join us next week as our coverage of Playoffs 93 continues. Check your local listings for time and game announcement. The NPSL on Sports Channel America is an exclusive presentation of Veris Worldwide Media Services. Good night, everybody.
This is a commercial for men. It's about men living longer, looking younger, feeling stronger. It's about Men's Health, the only magazine devoted to what men are concerned about most. Men's Health is full of information you can use every day. Smarter ways to eat, better ways to exercise, easy ways to beat stress,